for one of harness racing's biggest events. Our program is brought to you in part by America's Best Racing. For the love of the race, visit americasbestracing.net. Today, Greg Wolf alongside Anthony Stabile for one of the truly great cards in this sport, including the signature event at the Big M, the Meadowlands Pace. Tremendous undercard as well, but the big one, great storyline, obviously, with Beach Class and being from the final crop of his sire and the one race that his sire was unable to win. One of many great storylines we have tonight.
Yeah, some beach somewhere. We'll see if his son can avenge his lone defeat in his career. Last crop, like Greg said. Looking forward to a huge night of action from the Big M. I've had the honor and privilege to cover the Meadowlands Pace on site many years for the New York Post, and looking forward to bringing the action to you folks tonight out on FS2 and out in simulcast land. Let's have a fun night. I don't know if picking winners is going to be too hard. It looks a little chalky at the Big M tonight, but we're going to give it the old college try.
Including in that Meadowlands Pace, you believe?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. But earlier on, I got a little bit of a price for you in the Meadowlands Pace tonight. At least the horse that I think will run 1-2. I think he'll get into the exacta tonight.
All right, here's a look at the schedule from out in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Coming up in just a few minutes, Stanley Dancer. We're going to see three of the top-ranked trotters in the country as well. But the big one, that Meadowlands Pace, goes off at 10:44 Eastern Time. Tremendous evening full of star-packed action. Let's check in live in East Rutherford with Jessica Otten and Gabe Pruitt.
Thanks so much, guys, and a big happy Meadowlands Pace night. It's definitely a night that we look forward to all season long. Of course, the Meadowlands Pace is just one of many stops for those Glamour boys. Of course, the 3-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers, and we had a little bit of rain here this afternoon, Gabe, but the track seems to be lightning fast.
You know, I actually think the rain helped the track, Jess. This is the fastest I may have seen this track at a long, long time. Late afternoon showers, you said, didn't last long, but this track is just so lightning fast tonight. We already saw an overnight pace. The first race go 147 and change. We just saw a 3-year-old Colt set the track record. He trotted in 149 and change, so big things could be on the horizon here tonight on a big night at the Big M.
It is going to be a big night at the Big M. Of course, we had those 2 eliminations last week. We'll take a look at those. The top 5 finishers in each division obviously advanced on to the final. Beach Glass up first in that first division. And you know, when I was talking to Brent McGrath and Yannick Gingras over the week, one thing that they used to describe this horse was green, but he really handled that elimination well last week. He was parked to the quarter in 25 and change. There was plenty of lead changes, and he handled that well.
He really did. It was a breakout performance, so to speak, Jess. We knew he was a nice colt, but 48-1, he won by over 5 lengths there. It was an incredible performance. Of course, that's the storyline heading into tonight. It's the final crop from his sire, Some Beach Somewhere. He's trying to sire. He only had 12 colts in his final crop. We unfortunately lost him a few years back due to cancer. His only loss, Some Beach Somewhere, what was here the Meadowlands Pace. He was 20 of 21. He made over $3.2 million. So now he's got his last chance to send his son here, Beach Glass, to avenge that loss.
I'm super excited to see him, take on this group of Pacers. In the second division, or the second elimination, was Market Base, and he was a bit overlooked by the bettors, but he was coming into the race well. He held off Nighthawk late in the stretch. Forever Boy had late pace. I thought that was a really good elimination for those 3 horses.
You know, it was, and I know trader Nancy Tacker is very high on Market Base. She thinks that colt is peaking right now. We see sort of that odd equipment that he had on in that win last week. It was a perfect trip win, but I still don't want to discount it. As you said, a couple of wise guy horses coming out of that elimination, Jess. Nighthawk was rolling late. Forever Boy, who was over 20-1 there, he also had a tremendous amount of late pace. So that was a very good second elimination. We'll see if they can step up and take on the favorite there, Beach Glass.
It's going to be a great race, and of course, you have a great night of racing. We're so happy everybody is tuned in with us. Back to Anthony and Greg.
Jessica, Gabe, thank you very much, and looking forward to it. We're going to get to the Stanley Dancer Memorial as our first live action of the evening. Should mention, too, some racing coming up from Canterbury, which we're looking forward to, and a lot of good turf racing.
They have a $50,000+ pick 5 carryover. We've put a ticket together. We'll give it out a little bit later on in the program. That's races 6 through 10. We'll cover 5 through 10 out in Minnesota tonight. Yeah, looking forward to it. Gabe and Jess kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit. I like Forever Boy to upset the Meadowlands Pace tonight. He was raging last week, and I think with a little bit of a better trip tonight, hopefully you get the better trip. I know the favorite's going to be tough, but I'm going to try him at somewhere in the 12-1 range.
He was
tonight.
making up a ton of ground, as you just pointed out to me. So was Nighthawk, who I know a lot of people are very high on as well.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see an upset in the main event in that Meadowlands Pace, and our feature event still to come later on this evening. As we get a look at the action presented by Claiborne Farm, here's what we have ahead. They're fast at the Big M. That Hamiltonian Maturity and the Meadowlands Pace races 11 and 12 on the card. And as mentioned, Canterbury, they are fast and firm. We'll have races 5 through 10.
I'll tell you what, Gabe and Jessica talking about horses pacing and trotting, the trotters going in under 150. Bulldog Hanover is in the Houghton Memorial. It goes as race number 10. He tied the world record 2 weeks ago, came a fifth of a second off tying it again last week. If this track is lightning fast, we may see a world record on this show. History might be made right here tonight at the Meadowlands.
You can play it all. Get involved as you watch the program by getting signed up and started with Naira Bets. That's the offer, $200 deposit match. Sign-up bonus. New members punch in that promo code, TOGA200. Go to NairaBets.com or download that Naira Bets app and bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Let's head to Shakopee, Minnesota, race 5 at Canterbury Park. The Victor S. Myers for 3-year-olds that are Minnesota breds traveling 6 furlongs. 3 to 5 right now. Love the Nest, who comes in having won 3 straight, including the 3-year-old debut. We'll have the outside post. We start with Xavier Dave.
Xavier Dave cutting back from a bunch of route races on the turf. Hasn't raced on dirt since his 2-year-old year, where he was 1 for 3, including a debut win at Canterbury.
Back-to-back wins here at Canterbury for Dr. Oscar.
Yeah, 3 for 4, in fact, overall. Lost a stakes race to Love the Nest last year as a 2-year-old. Perfect 2 for 2 this year. Big, gaudy 82 buyer last time out.
Slow start, 2 back, but 1 on the lead last out. North Arm Bay, big price.
5 seconds from 8 career starts, a win and a third as well. Cuts back from the maiden victory, going a 2-turn mile, back to the 6-furlong sprint.
Haput won first time out. It was in the mud. Did not back it up on a fast track.
Yeah, wonder if the mud really helped his cause. He's by Barbados, a son of Spikestown. Maybe the wet track was to his liking. He's got plenty of speed. We'll see if he can show it on a fast track.
Happy Hour Bobby. Blinkers go on a horse already with speed.
Speaking of speed and speaking of a fast pace, Happy Hour Bobby, that Rogue's badge going on can really add some pace to this race. His 3-year-old figure is much faster than his 2-year-old figs. He'd still need to step up.
And here's a stakes winner who's the odds-on favorite. Is he the speed of the speed?
I don't know if he's the speed of the speed, Greg, but he's got that advantageous outside draw, the cozy outside draw, as my friend Jude Feld would say. He can see what happens inside of him. He's won from just off the pace, though. He does his best work on the front end. How about this barn? Winning at over 35% at the meet. He'll take some beating, as they used to say in the DRF in the short comments in the analysis.
Joel Byrne, yeah, he'll have Rye Eichelberry aboard, who was aboard for that stakes win at the end of his 2-year-old campaign, his maiden win as well, back on board today. And there is a look at him. So odds on in here, and the way he's at least won his last couple of races have been forward. There is some legit other speed in this race.
Yeah, deservedly so, the favorite. Dr. Oscar, the number 2, has the best race of all of these horses, the fastest race. It was last time out. He went 109-2 going this 6-furlong distance. He's 2 for 4 at the 6 furlongs. Love the Nest has only raced at the 3/4 one time. He ran a fast race as a 2-year-old. Love the Nest came back nicely at Hawthorne and beat the Open Company. Now he's back in with the Minnesota breds, whereas Dr. Oscar, he won that Open Company race just 19 days after returning, Greg. So, and now he's coming back in another 17 or 18 days. A lot of racing in a short amount of time for Dr. Oscar. At some point, you would think it'll catch up to him.
And he's had a couple of issues, too, where he's not broken clean.
Correct.
That was the issue, too, back. He won anyway. But you would think to deal with Love the Nest here, he's going to have to break sharp.
This cooks off a pick 4, a middle pick 4 at Canterbury. I was kind of glad this race wasn't in the pick 5. More often than not, when it looks like there's a favorite that is quote-unquote unbeatable, right? I think we found out today that none of those favorites are unbeatable. Reinvestment Risk did not get the job done as the free bingo square.
Not only didn't get the job done, didn't show up.
Right. So you have to be very, very careful, I think. I'm really happy this race was not part of the late pick 5 and part of that carryover today. More often than not, I'm happy. I feel like if you can give the gambler a little bit of an edge by trimming the ticket down and giving them a horse that they can lean on, I don't think, even at 3 to 5, this horse is supposed to be the favorite. I don't know if you can lean on him, though, because Dr. Oscar, if he doesn't have his gate woes tonight, Dr. Oscar can beat this horse tonight.
We'll see if he can reproduce and break clean what he did last time out And you think, well, with these speedsters in here, who does it set up for from a standpoint of a horse that could sit in stock? There's really not a horse with that kind of ability. I guess maybe Xavier Dave, the one.
You're counting on a horse to come back to the dirt. He was beaten by 3 of the runners in this race, including the 2 favorites. So I think he's a little tough to trust as well.
3-5 favorite. There he is, last in line. Let's go to Paul Allen with the Victor S. Myers from Canterbury Park.
For the 29th, Victor S. Myers. And they're racing. Number 5, Hap Hot was off terribly. Dr. Oscar fires out of the gate. So does Happy Hour Bobby. And Love the Nest is going to track those 2 speedsters. After that is Xavier Dave. Then it's North Arm Bay, already 12 from the speed. And about the same margin clear from Hap Hot. Dr. Oscar in a breakneck pace battle with Happy Hour Bobby. And Love the Nest is a length and a half behind them to the outside of Xavier Dave. And said Quartet is separated by 2 lengths as Happy Hour Bobby and Harry take the lead. Happy Hour Bobby from Dr. Oscar. Eckleberry's pushing on Love the Nest a bit. He's 3 lengths out of it. Then we come back to North Arm Bay. Hap Hot a mile out of it. They have a quarter of a mile to go. It is Happy Hour Bobby locked in battle with Dr. Oscar. Xavier Dave behind them. Eckleberry's all over Love the Nest, and he's beginning to range in on the 2 speedsters. Dr. Oscar gets by Happy Hour Bobby. Love the Nest still has to give more, but the doctor is operating in the Victor S. Myers. 3 in a row for Dr. Oscar.
Dr. Oscar, what a performance from this horse who battled this 6 horse as well. Happy Hour Bobby throughout early on and able to hold off the late charge from Love the Nest, the big favorite.
Happy Hour Bobby, not named after our producer Bobby Klatt. Dr. Oscar just kept on going along the inside today. Chad Lindsay gave this horse a fantastic ride. He never gave up position, Greg. He realizes that this horse ran his best race last time out when he was rolling on the front end, and he gets the job done. Minor upset of the favorite tonight.
We head to the Meadowlands for the Stanley Dancer Memorial 1 mile trot, purse of $125,000. Let's go to Jessica and Gabe.
Thanks so much. Yes, this is a field full of Hambo-eligible horses. Of course, the Hambletonian Day is the first Saturday in August. We'll take a look at some horses in here that catch my eye. Of course, King of the North. He had a sensational 2-year-old year, 6 of 10 on the year. Couple starts back at the Big M. He was just doubled up in that last turn, but he really came home trotting well, and he bounced back nicely with an effort in Vernon last week.
You know, he needs a breakout effort, though, Jess. He was a beaten favorite at Vernon. That was at a $53,000 stake last time out. Beaten a neck. Like you said, the prior start, he was a little bit jammed up here at the Meadowlands. He was the winner book favorite, probably for the Hambletonian. This horse had made over $500,000 last year, so he really needs that breakout performance we've been waiting for here to sophomore campaign. He's 5-2 on the board right now.
Be a Superhero front post 4. We obviously saw the Lucas Wallen and Tim Tetrick team up there and set a stakes and track record with Rebuff, who was also eligible to the Hambletonian. That was just quite the performance last week. He was okay a couple of starts back. They gave him a month off. He really trotted home good 2 starts back, 26-4. And last week, I just really liked what I saw. He really pounced off his cover there in the stretch.
A career best clocking, Jesse. He was a winner by over 3 lengths. And yeah, the barn looking to sweep both divisions here. The $125,000 Stanley Dancer. We'll see. Be a Superhero. You know, he's sort of been a fringe player on the national stakes scene. The fans on him, though, he's a co-favorite now at 5-2. They think he may be able to pass the test.
From the outside of the gate, post 8, branded by Lindy. 8 of 11 in the 2-year-old year for this one. I don't really like seeing that break in the Zwag last start out, but prior to that, horse has been racing pretty well.
You know, he really has, Jess, and that is a concern. A break in stride last time out at Vernon. That was with big money on the line, over $300,000. He was 7-2, so the fans were on him that day as well. You know, he'll need a little bit of a rebound. My concern from an outside post, how aggressive will Yannick Gingras be in the bike? If he breaks stride in 2 consecutive races, you have to qualify before you can race again. So will he be a little more conservative tonight to try and keep the 8 branded by Lindy on stride?
A horse that I was a huge fan of last year heading into the Breeders' Crown is a 6 testing. George Ducharme Connections took their time with him. He was sick there in the beginning of the season, so they waited towards the end of the season, but there's plenty of money to be made. He won over King of the North last week up at Vernon Towns, and he really fought on. I really like to see a horse fight in the stretch.
Yeah, and that was a big proving ground for him to beat the one King of the North the last time out. He had post 10 of the prior start up in the good times at Woodbine at Mohawk. That's just an impossible assignment. He rallied there from way downtown to pick up 4th, get a minor slice here, but this is a colt that is trending in the right direction. He's stepping up, 7-2 on the board. Sounds about right, Jess. The action playing about as I expected here. Just a wide open type board here. You could make a case for any number of these colts.
The Stanley Dancer is up next. Back to you, Greg.
Ken Workington, thank you, Jessica. Gabe with the call. Here's the Stanley Dancer Memorial.
Preferred Equine starting gate on the move here for the second division of the Stanley Dancer Memorial, $125,000, sponsored by Lexington. Selected yearling sale, 9-5 on the 4. Be a Superhero, 5-2 on the 1. King of the North, and here they come. 3-year-olds are off and trotting. Be a Superhero, a Classic Hill from between horses, shoots out there with testing. He's put in play. Branded by Lindy is caught very wide, maybe 6 wide around the first turn as King of the North cuts the corner into the first turn, and going on a break was testing. So it's Classic Hill to clear the lead. Be a Superhero going after command now. On the move up is Branded by Lindy. Third, King of the North is fourth, and Looks Like Money fifth on the inside. Followed by Slay, and then Let's Do It on a gallop. Goes testing off stride, goes Let's Do It. 27 flat across the backstretch, and here comes Branded by Lindy. Finally does clear the lead with Yannick Gingras. But on the move up is King of the North and Mark McDonald looking for command. BS Superhero on the inside, third now at the half. Classic Hill right on the helmet in fourth. It Looks Like Money on the inside, fifth, and Slay is sixth. And way back, we have testing, and Let's Do It. The half was lively, 54 3/5 as King of the North is taken over at 2-1. King of the North in front. Branded by Lindy right on his helmet, bump drafting as they head to 3/4. BA Superhero third on the inside. Classic Hill is fourth. To the outside, Looks Like Money needs to launch a late move right now. Then Slay on the inside as Branded by Lindy gets the call from Yannick Gingras to pounce on King of the North. Those two stride for stride. 3/4, 1:23 4/5 into the stretch drive. It's King of the North inside. Branded by Lindy taking it to him on the outside. An excellent slugfest here. And Be a Superhero trying to rail them in. Watch for Slay on the rail, who's raging with trot. Here comes Slay at 12-1. Slay, and Dexter Dunn gets her done. Then King of the North, and then it was close. Looks Like Money was flying light there with Branded by Lindy. Slay in 1:51.
Slay up the inside, 12-1 start to our program here in the Stanley Dancer Memorial.
Oh, what a sneaky drive here by Dexter Dunn. He was playing possum along the inside. Didn't look like when they turned for him after the 2 breakers. Testing broke on the first turn. Let's Do It as soon as they straightened out down the backstretch. Slay looked like he was hopelessly beaten turning for home. Dexter Dunn just rode the pylons, and he won pretty easily in hand, in fact, Greg. About a length at the end. Fractions didn't really set up for him either. The gang at the Meadowlands talking about how fast the track played. They went 54 3. It was a contentious half mile, a lot of movement on the front end. But Slay, 12-1, big price. Passes all the horses that stayed flat to get the job done here in the Stanley Dancer.
Bit of a late run wide as well from Looks Like Money from the outside, but Slay with the win up the inside for Tony Alagna. Dexter Dunn, and a surprise start to our coverage here from the Big M. Slay the best at a price to begin our coverage in this 1-mile trot for a $125,000 purse. We'll have the prices, and we'll set the stage for the Mistletoe Chalet when we come back for 3-year-old fillies.
Grade 1 winner and track record setter Lee. Like their sire, his runners have excelled on both dirt and turf, including these standout performers.
Leading by 3, Gibberish and Dylan Davis.
Out of a Galileo mare, this dual-surface star has sired juvenile stakes winners on both dirt and turf. Lee, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Some of the top horses in the sport are born and raised in Pennsylvania.
It's really the world capital of standardbred breeding. Breeders from other states locate in Pennsylvania.
It's not a hard sell. I mean, we have a whole mess of clients that send us horses to take advantage of the program. The racing opportunities have been, continue to be, and into the future are very strong here. This is where the top stallions are. A lot of the top mares are here in Pennsylvania. It's perfect.
We're back on America's Day at the Races, America's Night at the Races in this case, here on the East Coast. Our program brought to you in part by NYRA Bets, where you can play it all. Go to NYRABets.com or download that NYRA Bets app to play with us tonight and all summer long. Stanley Dancer Memorial, what a drive from Dexter Dunn on Slay at 12-1.
Yeah, Classic Hill, the number 5. Marcus Melander came off the pylons, and it allowed Slay to just have this beautiful, beautiful trip up the inside, right up the pylons. You see Dexter Dunn just getting after him just a little bit, and for 12-1, he got the job done pretty easily. It looked like the dash should have been between the 1 and the 2, not the 2 and the 1, my friend. 27.80.
The King of the North and Branded by Lindy, I think we're so concerned with each other. Inside just completely open.
When Yannick Gingras pulled the pocket on Branded by Lindy on the far turn, it looked like he was just going to roll on by. King of the North battled him back, and Slay was able to sneak up the pylons to get the job done. Whenever I see the word Slay, I think of the Honeymooners. I call you killer because you slay me. I'm calling Bellevue because you're nuts. You a Honeymooners fan, Greg?
No, but I'll watch it now.
Fantastic.
On recommendation.
Oh, the best.
Back at Canterbury Park, Dr. Oscar for trainer David Van Winkle. 3 in a row for this horse. Broke much sharper today, and really a brilliant performance because he took a lot of heat early in this race and still was able to finish.
We've seen 2 races so far on the program tonight, and saving ground has been the key. Dr. Oscar, Chad Lindsay, did not give up his rail position. He battled the 6 Happy Hour Bobby. He was able to withstand the late rally from the favorite Love the Nest. Good job. He lost the lead at one point, but he never gave up that coveted inside position, and he gets the job done. Slight upset at 8-5 of the chalk and finished second.
2, 7, 6. That $2 trifecta, $42.80. Modest upset here, but 2 favorites beat at both these tracks to begin our program. As we move on to race 6, the Francis Genter 3-year-old fillies, registered Minnesota breds, traveling 6 furlongs, Brewhouse for McLean Robertson. Nice debut at odds on. She was supposed to be good, daughter of Tapiture, and she dominated that maiden group by more than 5 lengths. We'll have more on this field when we come back from a short timeout. We're going to look back on a big Saturday as well, the first Saturday of the meet at Saratoga. Chad Brown eyeing a 7th Diana victory. Sent out 4 of the 6 fillies in this field. And one that was a bit of an afterthought winds up stealing the show. We'll have it for you when we come back.
Purple Haze Standardbred Adoption Program was created in 2018 by Wanda Policini. Purple Haze provides training to transition into new careers and finding homes. Horses are started with groundwork and then ridden in an arena before going on. Horses at Purple Haze are evaluated and adopted out based on abilities and temperament. If you have a horse that you care about, or if you're looking for a great pleasure horse, please contact Purple Haze Standardbred Adoption Program.
The Jersey Shore's biggest race is the TVG.com Haskell Stakes, Saturday, July 23rd. Join us at Monmouth Park or watch and wager nationwide as the country's top 3-year-olds battle it out in the race where champions prove their greatness. Play our $400,000 guaranteed pick 4, $200,000 guaranteed pick 5. It's all TVG.com Haskell Day, Saturday, July 23rd, Monmouth Park Racetrack.
Nestled behind the gates of Hillendale Farm at Alapa, you can find a cabin-like 5,000 square foot home called the Treehouse. It's a new one-of-a-kind getaway destination located in the heart of horse country. The home offers hewn beams, flooring made from lumber harvested from Maker's Mark's original rickhouse. A room with vintage horse saddles, the collection includes one that belonged to the king of rock and roll himself, Elvis Presley. You can enjoy a drink or a meal on the back screened porch or one of 4 decks that overlook the tranquil Stoner Creek. Upon request, reservations can be purchased to experience an inside look of a working thoroughbred farm with a tour of Hillendale. The Treehouse now offers a unique place to stay on the grounds that house the famed Kentucky Stallion Station and Thoroughbred Nursery of Hillendale at Alapa.
Simply a stunning property. Our program brought to you in part by Hillendale at Alapa. Thanks for being with us on this Saturday evening with coverage from the Meadowlands and from Canterbury Park. Greg Wolf, Anthony Stabile. And as mentioned before we went to break, first grade 1 of the meet at Saratoga this Saturday. That was the Diana, one of the most prestigious events there is for fillies and mares on the turf. Chad Brown, that 5-race win streak in the Diana, came to an end last year. It's almost like he was very mad about that. 10 of the 14 entrants were from Chad Brown, and 4 of the 6 who lined up for the race were from him.
Yeah, race near and dear to his heart. Zagora got it done in 2011. His first grade 1, he now has over 100. 5 in a row from 2016 to 2020. He got number 7 today. In Italian, went filo a filo. That's wire to wire, my friend. Joel Rosario had a big day. So did Chad Brown. He put this filly right on the front end today. Made every pole a winning one. Holds off technical analysis. Bleecker Street, Rougier. That's called a Chad-fecta. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Incredible. This was the biggest price of the 4 Chad Brown runners in the race. First grade 1 for this filly by Dubawi. Sort of the other Peter Brand horse. I think some maybe thought In Italian was in this race in a way almost as a bit of a rabbit to make sure the other speeds didn't get loose and get away and set it up for Bleecker Street. In the end, she goes gate to wire.
The parlance around here when Chad runs 2 is the other Chad Brown. Well, he ran 4, and she was the longest price of the 4. So this is technically the other Chad Brown.
Joel Rosario, when you see him on the lead, doesn't matter how quick they're going. These were fast fractions beware, because he usually has more left in the tank.
I liked and bet on technical analysis today, and I was biting my fingernails when I saw Joel, because it was. You're right. They went on his pace. In fact, they set a course record today, 145 flat for that Diana. When he has separation, he's usually very dangerous because, like you said, when he has separation, that usually means there's something in the tank. And at some point, and he did it today with an Italian, off the turn, he gets even more separation. And he got that separation right around the 3/16 pole today, and it was all over.
She faced and battled Regal Glory, who's probably the leader of this division right now for the same barn. Battled her in morning workouts as well. Didn't have to deal with her today, and she's able to finish the job. Impressive performance. Meanwhile, 2-year-olds, grade 3 Sanford. Forte for Todd Pletcher. He was trying to win this race for the 9th time in his career. So much talk about Andiamo Firenze, the half-brother to Firenze Fire, who won this race in 2017. In the end, Brad Cox, Florent Giroux, and a son of Uncle Mo with Mo Strike.
He was a good-looking debut winner on Father's Day down beneath the Twin Spires at Churchill Downs. He took every ounce of pressure they could throw at him today. He puts Andiamo Firenze away here, and he draws away to a nice win under Florent Giroux, widening at the end. He had a couple of horses running late in him, but it didn't matter. This horse looked really, really good taking this opening weekend feature today.
2-time reigning Eclipse Award-winning trainer. Had a big summer here last year. The Central Quality in the Travers. And now he's got a talented young 2-year-old, son of Uncle Mo, with Mo Strike. How about great navigator, too? Son of Sea Wizard, who only started twice in his career. He's retired after his maiden win. He's actually second to Destin, who was a runner-up in the Belmont in his debut. Horse ran on big to get second.
Yeah, for a horse that was fast early on in his debut. Yeah, this horse was running late today. Nice effort. We'll see if they go on to the Saratoga Special, if they await the Grade 1 hopeful closing weekend.
Grade 1, 7/8. Yeah, we will wait and see. That was fun to watch. 2-year-olds, they can change so much from start to start.
They can. Yeah, and you know, incrementally they'll stretch out in distance now. Saw some horses today. Great Navigator went from 4.5 furlongs to 6 furlongs, and he obviously handled it with aplomb, as you saw there. It's fun to watch these 2-year-olds develop right before our eyes here over the 40-day meet at the Spa. Love watching the 2-year-old racing, and of course all the stakes action. Just second to none here at Saratoga, as we saw with the Diana and the Sanford this afternoon.
Let's get back to Shakopee, race 6 out at Canterbury Park. This Francis Genter at 6 furlongs. Last time we checked in, Brewhouse was taking a lot of money, still is at 9-5. But there's a look at the 6 there in the background. It's Her Time, who was a multiple winner, won by 9 lengths first time out at this track, and then was able to beat State Bred entry-level allowance back on June 25th.
Yeah, this is more than Brewhouse, I think. You mentioned it's Her Time. She's My Warrior, the number 5, has won 3 of her 6 starts. So while Brewhouse was impressive first time out, she's facing a couple of more seasoned and polished rivals in the 5, She's My Warrior, and the 6, It's Her Time.
8, taking a little money. Honey Bella on our screen. She won first time out as well. Multiple winner. Pick 5.
Let's get it.
Begins here. So how are you going to play it?
We're going to start with 3. I don't trust Brewhouse as the favorite, so we'll use the 2, 5, and 6. We'll move on to the Ralph Strangis. That's race number 7. We'll head to the turf for the first time tonight. The 4, Tuco Bay, and the 10, Thick Haze. Thick Haze at a price. We'll hope to get the number 10 home. 3 deep in the Minnesota Turf Distaff, 5, 9, and 11. Let's skedaddle on a 2-race win streak. That's the number 5. The 9, Scent of Success, the price in there, and a logical one. We're ready to run away. Race number 9, Claimers, Freiburg, the number 3. Looks like he's going to be awful tough. Martin, another one. It looks like 3s and 6s. And in the last race, I'll take the 6 and 9 and the Maiden Claimer going a mile. Guest check and lead off. The bottom horse lead off, 6 to 1 on the morning line. See if we can close it out with him.
All right, good luck, Anthony. Good luck, everybody getting involved in this Pick 5 at Canterbury. Again, as you see that promo code for new members, you could play it at Nyra Bets. Punch in Toga 200. You'll get a $200 deposit sign-up match just for playing along. Post parade here coming up in a moment. But public all over this filly who debuted and won impressively when she was 3-5 back on July 2nd. Pretty quick turnaround here just 14 days later.
Exactly. It's a quick turnaround. You see that a lot up at Canterbury because the meet is fairly short, and they'll try and get in as much as they can, especially these state breds, which is the only track in town.
Called a post, and we begin our post parade with Gypsy Reward. Rye Eichelberry from McLean Robertson as well, stablemate to the favorite.
She's won half of her 4 career starts, both of them right here at Canterbury, where she is 2-4-2.
The filly to beat on the board, and word was out in that debut, and she ran to those expectations, winning by more than 5 lengths. Brewhouse, there she is.
Yeah, 8-5 on the morning line. 2-1 on the morning line, 8-5 in real-time odds. Went gate to wire first time out. Looks to be the speed in here again under Nick Goodwin.
Chaplin still a maiden, and the dirt races have not been very good.
Yeah, one of 2 maidens in here. Chaplin's really going to need to turn things around. Has yet to beat a horse on the main track.
Turf back to dirt today, despite the poor showing on this surface. St. Serena, 4th last time out.
Yeah, maiden winner 2 back, finished well behind it's her time last time. Would need a little bit of a form reversal. 25-1, and she probably should be.
The win leader of this field, She's My Warriors, won 3 of her 6 starts.
Yeah, all 3 of those wins came at Canterbury. 2 defeats came against Open Company, but she does have a win against Open Company. She's making her 3rd start since June 5th in a return from a December layoff.
McLean Robertson's got 4 in this field. Here's the 3rd of them. It's her time. Coming off a win last start.
Failed as the 1-5 favorite. 2 back, added a pair of blinkers to go gate to wire on under tepid fractions, going 6.5. She cuts back in distance.
29-1 next store on a maiden who's had 5 starts.
Yeah, 5 tries, even tried a tag already. Turf last time, not for me.
And 6-1 outside of Honey Bella, another McLean Robertson filly, won by Tapiture.
And another one that's won 2 of her 4 starts. She was defeated by She's My Warrior in her 2nd start last year as a 2-year-old. She was favored in that little stakes race last year. Same kind of form cycle, Greg. Big race off the layoff where she won by 3 lengths. Disappointed last time out against Open Company. Back to the state bred ranks tonight.
All right, so again, pick 5 begins in at 6 at Canterbury Park. Meanwhile, the Meadowlands, Mistletoe Chalet. Treacherous Dragon, she has been a win machine for Nancy Tactor. Let's go back to Jessica.
She really has been a win machine. You know, she's 6 for 6 on the season, recently added to the Nancy Tactor barn. She obviously sharpened up with that qualifier last time out, and it was a nice, simple qualifier, 52 flat with a 26-1 kicker. She draws the middle of the pack. It's really hard to go against her. She's on the board right now at 1-2, and she's really versatile, too. You can see on her program line, she can do it on the front end. Teacher does say she gets a little bit lonely on the front end, so she'd rather, you know, trace down horses and come from off of the pace or get a pocket trip, and she just does enough to, you know, win the race. So it's really hard to go against her in here. I think she's definitely the one to beat. That's in the 4 Treacherous Dragon. I like the 3 in the middle, the 5 and the 6 as well. Boudoir Hanover. That was quite the race in the Nadia Lobel over at Harrah's Hoosier Park last time out. She really fought after being parked the quarter in 20-5-2, and she really fought lately down the stretch and won by a neck in 48-3. Harrah's Hoosier Park has been quite the fast track. She comes out of a solid mile there, and we've seen her here before. She qualified nicely here. She raced here last year too, so not really concerned about her coming back to the Big M. And the horse that she beat by a neck is the 6 Trick of Lay out of the Brian Brown barn. We'll see him with Nighthawk in the Meadowlands Pace. This horse has been ultra consistent as well. 9 starts last year, hit the board 6 times with 3 wins. This year she's got 6 starts out in the season, 3 wins, and obviously hasn't missed the board. And she's also a horse in here that owns a ton of speed, so she gets to the outside of the gate, or towards the outside of the gate. She gets Dexter done. I mean, I loved the fight that she put up last week against Stakes, you know, company horses, and this was the first time she faced horses that weren't just Indiana breds or Indiana sire stakes. So I like to see that as well. She looks good out on the track. So I think you're really going to have to stick to the middle of the gate in here, the 4, 5, and 6. A lot of people have been talking about Max Contract. I think they finally figured this one out for Team Orange Crush. The 7, Andy and Julie Miller. This horse put up a really good mile last time out. I know this is a considerably jump in class, but it was quite the effort from an outside post. Back to you, Greg.
All right, Jessica, thank you. 1-2, Anthony, on Treacherous Dragon, who is undefeated, 6 for 6 this year, but has not raced since June 26th.
Yeah, so she missed. She's missed 3 weeks, and that's a lot in harness racing, right? If you thoroughbred players out there, 3 weeks would almost be considered quick at this point. that's missing a decent enough amount of time, especially for a horse who's in such raging form right now. She's earned $261,000 this year. She's undefeated in 6 starts, like we talked about. She's taken her show on the road, Meadowlands, down in Philly, Woodbine, Pocono Downs. She's racing and winning over all different configurations, 5/8 ovals, 7/8 ovals, the mile at the Big M. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really poke a hole in her. She was off a week from May 29th to June 11th. She got the job done. So missing a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, I can't imagine it's going to affect her too much. I will say this. That's a little bit of a short price. I know she has a wonderful resume this year, but it's not like she's racing against a bunch of fillies tonight that aren't without chance. I thought Boudoir Hanover was good, shipping in off a win at Hoosier. She had a no-chance trip from the 9-hole, 2 starts back. She's had a pretty good start to the year. She's 2 for 4. I thought
and there is Boudoir Hanover.
There's Boudoir Hanover. She looks
every
fantastic.
start this year from Boudoir Hanover has been very good.
Yeah, she's been going. I don't know. Treacherous Dragon beat her twice, and when Treacherous Dragon isn't around, it's kind of when the cat's away, the mice will play, and she gets the job done. Right? That's what a great horse does. A great horse wins, and when the horses they beat race when they're not around, they win. That's what Boudoir Hanover has done. I think she's the biggest chance at upsetting Treacherous Dragon tonight, but I think Balance has a chance as well at double digits at 10-1.
Treacherous Dragon for Nancy Tactor, putting that perfect 6 for 6 record this year on the line in the Mistletoe Chalet. Let's go to Ken Workington.
Dragon 1-2, 6-1 on the 6th Trick of the Light. The Mistletoe Chalet for $150,000, sponsored by Odds On Racing to start the Pick 6. Here they come. They're off. Trick of the Light and Boudoir Hanover and Treacherous Dragon, the big favorite, out of there fast as Lion Serenity broke at the start. And they skirmish into the first turn. Boudoir Hanover on the inside. Treacherous Dragon strings her out early. Tussle from the inside. That's one crooked leg. Getting now Balance on the inside. That's Balance in third. And Trick of the Light is fourth, followed by one crooked leg fifth past the opening quarter, followed by Max Contract. And then it's Queen of Success and Smuggled Tina and Lion Serenity back pacing 26 and 3. Across the backstretch, Boudoir Hanover sets up shop, paves the way with Todd McCarthy. Treacherous Dragon, the big favorite, content to sit second on the rail. It's Balance in that third position, followed by Trick of the Light on the helmet under a tight rein with Dexter Dunn. And then it's one crooked leg and Max Contract and Queen of Success and Smuggled Tina. Lion Serenity continues to trail 54 and 3. A crisp half mile here for Boudoir Hanover at 5-2, continues to carve it out. Perfect 2-hole ride for Treacherous Dragon. Trick of the Light is launched to the outside now. A menacing move with Dexter Dunn, third on the outside. Balances back to fourth on the rail as Max Contract looks to get going, fifth on the outside. One crooked leg to her inside, followed by Queen of Success and Smuggled Tina and Lion Serenity, and they set sail for home. Boudoir Hanover 122 and 1. In the stretch of the Mistletoe Chalet, Boudoir Hanover and Treacherous Dragon all set to now dives to the inside. She was going to angle out. Trick of the Light on the outside, elite move from Max Contract in deep stretch. And it's still Boudoir Hanover. Here comes Max Contract on the outside at 16-1. Max Contract! It's a Orange Crush upset in the Mistletoe Chalet over Boudoir Hanover. And then Treacherous Dragon and Trick of the Light, 148 and 3/5 equals the stakes record.
How about that? Max Contract at a price Andy Miller in the bike, who'd won the last 2 editions of this race.
You heard Jessica say that Team Orange Crush. That's Julie and Andy Miller, husband and wife team. Andy's doing the driving here. The Orange Crush down the center of the course. Thought they had figured this filly out, this daughter of Huntsville. Guess what, Greg? They did it a big price. Excellent mile from Boudoir Hanover. Treacherous Dragon, the big favorite, proved to need the race off the bench tonight.
Back to Canterbury Park. As we get set for this pick 5, even money now. Brewhouse, the 2 filly for McLean Robertson, been favored throughout and decidedly the one to beat here. Nick Goodwin will ride. Let's go to Paul Allen for the call.
And ready to run away. We'll be racing in the Minnesota Turf Distaff a couple of races from now. Chaplin has gone in. And here is Saint Serena. Honeybella last in line, 4-1. 8 in the gate for the 32nd Francis Genter Stakes. And they're racing. And the Canterbury Park pick 5 with that Nation Low takeout gets off beautifully for all age. And from the center, She's My Warrior. The 2021 debutante champion popped nicely, joined by the speedy Brewhouse to the inside. Outside of that, It's Her Time. Then we come back to Saint Serena, and up goes Brewhouse trying to run to 2 for 2. And Brewhouse scoots right by She's My Warrior. We come back to I Think I Love You, 8 lengths from the lead, overtaken by Gypsy Reward. Honeybella's outside of that one, about 9 lengths behind the stablemate, and Honeybella's on the move. The one in last is Chaplin. They have a quarter of a mile to go. Nick Goodwin still has a tight hold on the talented filly Brewhouse, but now he starts to niggle at her with She's My Warrior creeping in. Outside of that, Honeybella continues to swoop in nicely, and between runners is Saint Serena. Here comes on the outside She's My Warrior trying to capture Brewhouse, who's still very game. Brewhouse from She's My Warrior. 2 and 5 to the line together. Brewhouse is the Genter champion.
She's My Warrior was trying 3 for 4 at Canterbury. Runs out of room. Brewhouse hangs on. She's a perfect 2 for 2 now for McLean Robertson.
Yeah, Brewhouse kept going. This was a big effort. She had more seasoned and more polished fillies to her outside. I think Nick Goodwin did a fantastic job here in, again, not giving up position. I'm wondering, Greg, if inside's good, because it looks like it's hard to really grind by. These outside paths just looks like it's a little bit of a grind. You see a lot of riders kind of heading inside as well. Nick Goodwin did not give up his position, and he gets this Daughter of Tapiture to the wire. A perfect 2 for 2.
Holds off. Again, good effort from She's My Warrior from off the pace. 2-5-1 finish. Formful beginning to this pick 5.
Yes. Would have liked to have seen She's My Warrior get by for a little bit of a better price to beat the even money favorite, but Brewhouse, a well-deserved winner of the Francis Genter.
One of harness racing's biggest nights. We continue with our live coverage from the Meadowlands, with the Meadowlands pace still to come. We'll be back right after this on America's Day at the Races.
Nobody wants to fall into a safety net, but when adversity or hardship presents itself, it beats the alternative. Since 1943, the Jockey Club Safety Net Foundation has been serving those individuals and families in need across every facet of the thoroughbred industry. Help us continue to be the safety net and catch those most in need. Visit tjcfoundation.org to learn more.
You don't have to be a multi-millionaire to get into this game. You can have a few $1,000s and have fun with it. But with the bonds, you're actually going to win. I've had the opportunity to win multiple races. In fact, this year I won 2 times in one day, which is almost unheard of to be able to do. This is going to happen with them. You will get into the winner's circle in Saratoga. You will walk that horse in, and you will stand there, look at the crowd, and the bonds will take you there and get you into that winner's circle. And it won't cost you a lot of money.
We're back on America's Day at the Races. Program brought to you in part by Run Happy. What a sprinter. Never lost in his career while sprinting. Now standing at legendary stall number 1 at Claiborne Farm. Greg Wolf, Anthony Stabile. How about what we just saw at the Meadowlands from Max Contract?
Flew home. This was some effort. You see her right now. She's in 5th. She's about to tip off of the turn. She gets the room right there, Greg, and she's able to tip to clear sailing. See the favorite, Treacherous Dragon. Treacherous Dragon, Timmy Tetrick didn't know if he wanted to take her outside or inside. He opts to go inside. She just had no fire the last 16th of a mile. Max Contract had plenty, and she gets the job done by 3/4 of a length at a big price.
She was impressive in her last start, but this was a much tougher spot, and she's able to back it up once again. Let's go to Gabe for more.
Thanks a lot, Greg. And I'm standing by here with winning trainer Julie Miller. And Julie, this was a big test for class. Really her first major stakes test tonight.
Absolutely, it was. You know, we enjoy coming to the Meadowlands, and like I said in my comments tonight, big test. And she proved me right.
Yeah, she really did. She came flying on the end of it there. Were you confident as far back as she was that she could get up and get the job done?
Well, you know, I'm always nervous. I thought Andy was a little bit too far back tonight, but he said when he hit the home stretch, he had a great closing kick.
And last year she had one start as a 2-year-old. It was a successful start. What happened there? You actually just turned her out and freshened her up here for a 3-year-old year.
Absolutely. You know what? She got a little sick on me. We thought she was a special filly, and I didn't want to rush her, so we just turned her out and gave her Dr. Green, and it ended up paying out for us.
Yeah, it looks like mission accomplished on that.
Absolutely, Gabe.
All right, congratulations, Julie. We'll look for Max Contract to continue on the stakes trail after a big win here in the Mistletoe Chalet, guys.
Gabe, thank you. 35-60 for the win for Max Contract. And again, Andy Miller has now won the last 3 editions of this race.
I'm not surprised with the drive he gave this filly tonight. And again, can't stress it enough. Jessica and Gabe mentioned that they figured Team Orange Crush thought they had figured this filly out. And the last 2 efforts, they certainly seems she's turned the corner, and yeah, bigger things to come. Right, her first big stakes try tonight, and she handles it with ease. 35 and change if you were able to get behind Max Contract like Andy Miller was.
This sport, 2 different racetracks. We've had 2 odds-on favorites. They're 0 for 2 so far tonight.
Yeah. Not red boarding here, but I thought Treacherous Dragon was going to need this race tonight. I don't be discouraged by that effort if you're a fan. I think going forward, she'll be the goods in this division.
Yeah, we talked about the time off.
We did, and she had raced well with the 1 week, the couple of weeks, and then the qualifier. And like I said, she had some competition. And I loved the drive on Bourgeois Hanover. Todd McCarthy just took it right to the favorite, and I don't know if it ultimately was her undoing tonight, but she paced a good mile. The Bourgeois Hanover paced a good mile and took Treacherous Dragon to the limits tonight.
Lightly raced Max Contract, now 4 for 5 in her career on a special evening in East Rutherford. Still to come, the 46th running of the Meadowlands Pace. We'll be back right after this.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions. And offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night, nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets.
Pouring it on here in the
the stretch. Impressive to win the Grade 2 Vosburg. Following C,
Smile Happy has kicked it into high gear, and Smile Happy with a powerful performance wins by 2.5.
Eclipse champion Run Happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. RTN has packages that start at $5 per month.
Established in 1977, the Meadowlands Pace has been one of harness racing's premier events since its debut. With some of the most scintillating sprints to the wire in the sport, the Meadowlands Pace has produced 15 Horses of the Year, 38 male sophomore pacing champions, and 22 Pacers of the Year. The Meadowlands Pace is the first thoroughbred or harness race to have $1 million purse. It remains the second most lucrative race for pacers on the continent, behind only the North America Cup at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Despite every pace being memorable, certain editions stand out as unforgettable moments in harness racing history. Which horse will secure his place in history in this year's edition of the Meadowlands Pace?
It's Niatros by 4, and he's going away. Niatros and Clint Galbraith, they win the 1980 Meadowlands Pace.
Nihilator, what a powerhouse. He's in full stride. Here's Nihilator, Bill O'Donnell urging him to a sensational mile.
But it's Precious Bunny in deep stretch. Precious Bunny is going to win the Meadowlands Pace.
Artificial, a desperate lunge on the outside. Artificial, some beat somewhere at the line. Artificial, always be Mickey on the outside. Tell it like it is right there with him. He's watching, wins the Meadowlands Pace. Wiggle it, jiggle it in front. Dude's the man in Wakasashi, Hanover. Wiggle it, jiggle it. Team Teague win the Meadowlands Pace.
Some incredible history in this storied race, of course. Jessica and Gabe, including a storyline tonight with one of the great additions of this race. We'll see if Beach Class can finish off what his sire could not.
There is so much great history behind this race, Gabe. Of course, Sun Beach somewhere, but there's been plenty of great horses coming out of, winning the Meadowlands Pace and going on to being Horses of the Year and incredible sires. But I think we all remember that incredible upset by Artificial in the 2008 Meadowlands Pace.
For my money, Jess, that was the best harness race of all time. Sun Beach somewhere, the best horse we've ever seen to sit on the track at the sport of harness racing. 20 of 21 at his career. He made over $3.2 million. His lone loss right here at the Meadowlands Pace. And, we're all looking forward to Beach Class for the same connections, by the way. Trainer Brent McGrath tonight, who trained Sun Beach Somewhere. The Schooner Stable, who owns Sun Beach Somewhere. They've got their shot with their pace favorite. And the big news is, Jess, it's the final crop from Sun Beach Somewhere. No stallion has ever produced a Meadowlands Pace champion in both his first and last crop. Sun Beach Somewhere's richest son won the Meadowlands Pace in his first crop. That's Captain Treacherous. He's got a couple of chances in the pace tonight as well. The final crop from Sun Beach Somewhere, there were only 12 colts in that crop. Incredibly, one of the 12, he's here, Beach Class, and he's got a shot to win the Meadowlands Pace.
It truly is just a special story. I was able to catch up with both Brent and Yannick earlier this week, and of course Yannick just recently took over controls, and I asked him, I said, what's it like to be a part of this story? And he goes, oh, it's amazing. I'd really like to get the job done. The one race his dad didn't win. Then I caught up with Brent, and we just sat and chatted about how amazing of a horse Sun Beach Somewhere was, and what he did on the track afterwards, being a sire, and it's just truly amazing. I know Beach Class is coming into the race with a lot of weight on his back, I guess you could say, but you can just hear the emotion in his voice, and I bet this entire grandstand will just be loud and cheering for them.
Yeah, that's going to be the fans' choice. Brent's been in this spot before. Sun Beach Somewhere originally, he was undefeated coming into that race. He was the superstar of the sport, so it's not like he's been in these pressure cooker moments before, but I know that this would be very special for him to stamp it here with Beach Class tonight.
It will be, and so we're all looking forward to that, of course, in race 12. I think there's 3 offsprings of Sun Beach Somewhere in the Meadowlands Pace, so we're so excited for that, and obviously cheering him on, of course, the legacy of Sun Beach Somewhere as well. Back to you, Greg.
Jessica Gabe, thank you. We talk about short price favorites getting beat. Some beat somewhere was 1-9 in the only loss of his career.
Yeah, unbelievable. Offense. Heard Gabe say he thought it was the best harness race in history. It was fun. You know what I loved best about that feature? Getting to hear the voice of the late, great Sam McKee, who passed away a little over 5 years ago. Sam, the longtime voice of the Meadowlands, I know missed by the community a lot.
Up next, 1 mile trot in this Miss Versatility, and a 4-5 favorite, When Doves Cry, for Brett Pelling.
Yeah, couple of second place finishes off of the missing some time in the qualifier. One race up at Woodbine, one race right here at the Big M. Bella Bellini, who we will see later on the program, and 4-5 on When Doves Cry. She makes a lot of sense. She's got a good draw tonight. She's inside. She had a couple of rail draws in her last 2 starts, made up a lot of ground over at Woodbine. 2 back last time out. Was able to work out a pretty good trip, but just could not get the job done as your 8-5 favorite. She's a lot shorter than that tonight. I'll try to 5 Atlanta. She's taking some money. The well-traveled, seasoned 7-year-old earner of over $3 million, 33 for 68 in her career, Greg. She's been on a bit of an in-and-out pattern. It's supposed to be an in night tonight. See if she can get the job done as the second choice at 9-5.
Let's go to Ken Workington. Here's the Miss Versatility from the Meadowlands.
$40,000 is the third leg of the Miss Versatility Series, sponsored by the Burke Stables. Right now, 4-5-2, When Doves Cry, and 9-5 on the 5 Atlanta. Trotting mare is on gate, race 8, picking up speed. Here they come. And the mares are off and trotting, and it's Atlanta out fast with Kenzie Sky Hanover and Westland Quest up on the far outside. From the inside, Ghost in the Shell got away in 3rd position. Next Level Stuff is 4th. Atlanta alongside 5th, looking to slide in there in front of Refined from the 2nd tier 6th. Thankful from the 2nd tier 7th. And then it's PL Not So Nice and Kenzie Sky Hanover. And Sorella is the trailer, can see them all past the opening quarter, and it's Westland Quest and Andrew McCarthy, 27-1. Westland Quest to pave the way. When Doves Cry trotting in 2nd. Ghost in the Shell is a loose 3rd. Next Level Stuff on the inside 4th. As they continue towards the half, Atlanta bides her time in 5th position, followed by Refined in 6th. Then it's Thankful 7th on the rail, and PL Not So Nice getting underway. Then Kenzie, Sky, Hanover, and Sorella still trailing at the half. And now it's When Doves Cry took the lead between calls with Dave Miller, 55, and to a soft pace here. When Doves Cry in full control onto the far turn, took the lead away from Westland Quest as they continue towards 3/4, going on a break there, and way back is Refined. Refined made a break now and launched to the outside. Here comes now Next Level Stuff into 2nd. Next Level Stuff is tracked by Atlanta, who's 2nd over right now. Looking for room is Ghost in the Shell on the inside, 5th, and it's When Doves Cry, the target, 123-2. She's well rated, When Doves Cry. Next Level Stuff in rebound mode on the outside, first over. On the inside, Westland Quest looks for room. Atlanta needs to churn out some more trot here. When Doves Cry out, sprinting them. It's When Doves Cry, a dominant winner. West on the outside, Atlanta gets up for 2nd. Then it's Next Level Stuff and Westland Quest. When Doves Cry in 150 flat.
When Doves Cry had refound that sharp form, picks up the 21st win of her career.
Yeah, she had things pretty easy on the front end tonight. Greg, Next Level Stuff came with a first over brush approaching the far turn, and Atlanta tried to get towed into the action. Next Level Stuff got a little steppy, a little choppy. Looked like at one point she may even jump stride. She didn't. She stayed flat, but it kind of lost some momentum for Atlanta to get pulled into the action, and it was able to give David Miller and When Doves Cry just enough breathing room to inch away and hold sway as the 4-5 favorite.
Finally see an odds-on winner get a win tonight.
Yeah. Chalk players rejoice.
David Miller on the bike, trained by Brett Pelling. 6-year-old mare who's now 21 for 53 lifetime. First win this year, though, in 6 starts. We'll have these prices for you when we come back. We're going to look back to opening day at Saratoga when we returned. 2-year-old fillies in the opening day feature in the Schuylerville. And it was 2 fillies coming in from Churchill Downs that were the most talked about. Summer Promise for Dwayne Lucas and Just Cindy for Eddie Keneally.
Some of the top horses in the sport are born and raised in Pennsylvania.
It's really the world capital of standardbred breeding. Breeders from other states locate in Pennsylvania.
It's not a hard sell. I mean, we have a whole mess of clients that send us horses to take advantage of the program. The racing opportunities have been, continue to be, and into the future are very strong here. This is where the top stallions are. A lot of the top mares are here in Pennsylvania. It's perfect.
Need help in finalizing your picks for the next race? Check out the Track Master selections provided by Equibase on every U.S. thoroughbred and harness track on NYRA Bets. Use these selections to get quick expert advice from professionals in the business. Check out the thumbs up graphic next to the pick and the wager pad and scroll down for more details on the horse. Track Master selections available on NYRA Bets and the NYRA Bets app.
We've talked a little racing betting strategy, like keeping it simple and just betting to win in place if you like a horse at high enough odds or a horse that might be offering obvious value. There are other pitfalls in betting though, like forgetting to box. If you like 2, 3, or even 4 horses in a race, you just about always box them in your exactas and trifectas. If you do like one horse above all others, you can also key them on top of other horses.
Back on America's Day at the Races. Nice look there at downtown, the Adelphi Hotel. Program, of course, brought to you in part by America's Best Racing. For the love of the race, visit americasbestracing.net today. I'm a big fan of Morrissey's.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of all the nightlife here at the spa. You can bet that I'll be raging with pace when we get off set at 11 o'clock tonight, my friend.
When Doves Cry, odds on in the Miss Versatility. David Miller for Brett Pelling.
I don't know if she knows what it sounds like when doves cry, the old Prince song, but yeah, easy job tonight for David Miller. Things got real easy for him through a pretty soft half, and we're just able to sprint home in this trot. 150 though, racehorse time, my friend. Track's playing pretty quick over at the Big M tonight.
When Doves Cry, Best Atlanta. And Next Level Stuff completes that trifecta with pick 4. Healthy.
Yeah, $2 wager got you back over $4,700. Could use one of those right now.
You and me both.
Like right now.
Oh, got an opportunity. Late pick 4 begins here. 1 mile pace in the Dorothy Houghton Memorial. $175,000 purse and test of faith. Brett Pelling, David Miller will try and go back to back.
Yeah, she was dynamite. Dynamite last week in the graduate final. And she's going to be ultra tough tonight. 1-9 on the tote board right now.
Let's wrap up that Miss Versatility. Head back to Gabe.
Thanks a lot, Greg. Wind Doves Cry standing by with the winning trader, Brett Pelling. And Brett, this had to work out about as you expected tonight. She was a big favorite of this spot. Got to move to the lead there and was unpressured throughout most of that mile.
Well, she has great speed. So wherever she drew, I think she was going to be involved. But, you know, she's just become so honest now, and her gait and everything is foolproof. She's sound, she's happy, and she's really enjoying what she's doing.
And I know this track is lightning fast tonight, but still very impressive for her to equal her career best tonight, 150.
Oh, no, for sure. And, you know, probably without any pressure. So, you know, I think if they got down a little bit quicker, she might have went a tick quicker. So, you know, she loves it. You know, she's just a real honest mare.
And another real honest mare you've got coming up at the next race, Test of Faith. She's got a major stakes assignment here in race 9. You'll look to go back-to-back. How's she coming into this race?
Mate, she's just a champion. I mean, we're just in awe of her all the time, and she was a champion at 2 right from the time we started with her, and she just never, ever done anything to disappoint us.
All right, well, let's look forward to that Test of Faith, guys, the upcoming 9th race. We'll let Brett get back to the paddock to get her ready to go.
Gabe, thank you. Very, very short price right now on the ultra-talented Test of Faith. We'll talk more about that one coming up at that Dorothy Houghton Memorial shortly. Going to look back to the Schuylerville, that opening day feature for 2-year-old fillies, grade 3, on the opening day of the meet at Saratoga. D. Wayne Lucas talked about Summer Promise as being one of the best fillies he's had in a long, long time. Unable to hold off just Cindy, who was just too good. She's now 2 for 2 for Eddie Keneally.
Yeah, Summer Promise got softened up on the front end in a race that looked like there was some speed signed on, and there was, and Cindy was able to take advantage of that under Rad Ortiz Jr., and she comes out of the Schuylerville a perfect 2 for 2.
First U.S.-based graded stakes winner for the Triple Crown champ Justify as well. And in terms of going longer, Eddie Keneally believes she's going to appreciate more ground. Her dam was actually a stakes winner at a mile, and her second dam was a multiple graded stakes winner, including the 2-turn Molly Pitcher. So you would think the more distance, maybe the better for her.
Yeah, she really kind of ran away from Summer Promise, too, the last 50, 60 yards or so. So, yeah, it doesn't look like distance will be a question for her, I would imagine. Obviously, up here at Saratoga, you stretch out to the Adirondack or perhaps the Spinaway Open on closing weekend. And, again, the incremental stretch outs shouldn't be an issue right now. She won't have to worry about 2 turns for an awfully long time.
Yeah, sounds like the game plan right now, they're going to eye that Spinaway. Grade 1 for 2-year-old fillies towards the end of the meet. One of the most talked about races that was just a restricted stakes race. The return of that Wilson Chute. So we have 1-mile races back at Saratoga, and no real issues. It seemed like it went off terrific. We're going to see 11 of these races in this first condition book, and Tarabi sets herself up for now with this win, a run at the Test for 3-year-old fillies.
Fantastic camera angle light right there as Angitude went to the lead. Yeah, Tarabi, her return to the races, she finished second. Following the 1s and 2s who got loose on the lead on her that night, and here she is. She's going to run down Angitude. Hold off Goddess of Fire at the same time here. Nice effort. Love to see the Wilson Chute back. Poor Wilson Chute has come under some scrutiny for no reason whatsoever. Had a few questions about it today. We're going to hold it to 10 runners for now. The field size is limited to 10, but this was a fantastic run from Tarabi, and I'm sure we'll see her move on to back into graded stakes action, I should say.
Yeah, this was our first look at the Wilson Chute, and the first time we've had a mile race here at Saratoga since 1992. Field scratched down to 7 in here with the scratches, but this went off without a hitch. Positive reviews after race 1.
A horse got loose on the lead that figured to be loose on the lead. She was run down in the final stages by the first and second choice. I don't know if you're going to get more formful than that, my friend. Maybe it'll be the gambler's dream, the old Wilson Chute. And what do you think 11 races in the first book?
Yeah, which runs through July 31st.
Right.
What do you think about Tarabi? Obviously, she had to play second fiddle a little bit to Echo Zulu last year. A lot of fillies did, actually. But going forward to the test, is she capable of winning a race like that?
I would think so. I think the cut back to the mile will probably benefit her. The cut back to the 7 furlong, I should say, would probably benefit her because even though she got the job done, it kind of looked like the last 16th of a mile or so was a little bit of a grind for her. I think the cut back to the 7/8 should suit her well. She has enough tactical speed to not have to be as far off the pace as she was the other day on Thursday. So yeah, I think she does have a chance in the test.
Back to Canterbury Park, and pick 4 begins here in the 7th. 7.5 furlongs on the grass for the Ralph Strangis. $50,000 purse. And a couple on the board at 5-2. The slight favorite right now, the Alligator Hunter, who is quick early, but has never been on the lawn.
Yeah, a son of Overanalyze out of a Stormy Atlantic mare. Some pedigree on the bottom. One is last 2, I should say. Dead heated in a state-bred $50,000 stakes race. Then got the job done in an open claimer on the front end. He has a stretch to the 2 turns. And if he takes to the grass, he's supposed to be loose on the lead in here, Greg. He's supposed to be loose on the lead in here. And part of the reason I like the number 10, Thick Haze, is he has some success on the turf. And I would imagine that Thick Haze and Jermaine Bridgerhand are going to follow the Alligator Hunter out of there, try and get some position early on. I'm going to try the number 10, Thick Haze at a price.
Yeah, 4 for 5 on the turf for Thick Haze. We'll see if he can overcome that outside post position. Well, let's go to Paul Allen for the call. Race 7, start of the pick 4.
Here they come in the Ralph Strangis Stakes. And they're racing. And from the outside, the Alligator Hunter in his turf debut at 3-1. He jumps the field and takes the lead. Prince Rama also in his turf debut. He's in second, about 3 lengths behind the Alligator Hunter as they corner. 2.5 behind that to Hot Shot Kid, the 8-year-old's 5 out of it. And about 1.5 lengths clear from Tuco Bay, looking to win 2 in a row. Meanwhile, the Alligator Hunter has built a 4-length lead. Then we come back to Zoe's Delight. Rider has the patriotic colors, beginning to advance to the outside of the veteran Tuco Bay, but 10 out of it. And to the outside of Hold the Spice. The white horse is 12 lengths from the lead. 2.5 behind that to Thick Haze. Then we come to Devil Vision. And the one in last is King of the Kids, about 15 behind the Alligator Hunter, who's looking to chomp on the field in the Strangis. The Alligator Hunter continues to cruise along melodically round about the quarter pole, and that lead is 3 from Prince Rama. After that, Hot Shot Kid, Tuco Bay. That one's to the inside of Zoe's Delight. Then it's Hold the Spice, and they're chasing the Alligator Hunter, and the Alligator Hunter still is clear. Quinones beginning to get into that 7 a little bit, and now he drifts out badly. And here comes Hot Shot Kid, but now he makes a left turn, and the Alligator Hunter, as erratic as a shopping cart, but he's the Strangis champion.
First time on the turf for the speedster, the Alligator Hunter. We expected this speed. We did not expect this drifting in and out to the wire.
Yeah, a little left-handed urging here. I don't know if the drift out did anything. The drift in might be what gets the stewards to take a look at this.
Yeah,
as you see,
Hot Shot Kid as a case.
Yeah, Zoe's Delight nailed Hot Shot Kid on the money for place, and that could hurt the winner's cause, Greg, because they could argue the connections of the number 8, Hot Shot Kid, that it could have cost them a placing in here. So,
yeah, was there room, or was Ryan Eichelberry trying to sell that a little bit?
Well, the other question I have is, was he anticipating the winner crossing over on him? If he was looking to get out of there a little prematurely, I don't know if you can necessarily hold the winner responsible. They're going to take a look at it. I would imagine they're going to take a long look at it because it's a dicey spot. It was just around the length, so it wasn't a definitive 1.5 lengths. It wasn't 3/4 of a length. There was no contact. This might take a little while, but I would imagine they're going to take a long look at this. I'd leave it as is without seeing anything, any other angle, a head-on, anything else. Based on what I saw, this result was not changing tonight. The Alligator Hunter was going to get the job done. I wouldn't change a thing.
But, yeah, the question is, and as you said, did it cost a placing to Hot Shot Kid? And it's a tough – we need to see another angle because this horse may have well been clear when he ducked back in.
I think he was. Just watching the race, I think he was clear. But there's a chance he wasn't. So, and here we're taking a look at the head-on. He was clear on the drift out. I would never be concerned about the drift out. That's
the drift back in is the issue. And, whether he was clear or not, Hot Shot Kid, the 8, was reacting to it, seeing the horse coming back in toward him.
Keep an eye on the rider, on Rye Eccleberry. He's in the blue. See the horse with the white blaze on his face. There's no impact here. None. As he drifts out considerably, the Alligator Hunter. Now he comes back in, and right there, you see, this is what I was trying to talk. This is what I was talking about. Rye Eccleberry gave a grab on Hot Shot Kid well before the winner was within a path of him, and he anticipated that move. I don't know if you can hold the winner responsible for the now third place finisher reacting to that.
All right, we'll let you know the steward's decision as we get back to the Meadowlands for the Dorothy Houghton Memorial. Let's go back to Jessica and Gabe.
Thanks so much. Yes, this is the Dorothy Houghton Memorial. Of course, for those open pacing mares, we see the matchup between Test of Faith and Racing Belle. We'll get to those in just a few minutes. But a horse I want to start with starts from the middle of the gate. She's on the board right now at 21-1. That's Fire Start Hanover. 2 starts back, not great. But last start, I thought she was really good.
She was. She was a good runner up there and behind Test of Faith, who was the big favorite, of course. She's been just maybe a notch below the top mares all year. She draws a perfect post here, Jess. We've got Dexter done the bike. I think she could maybe lead the gate, track along, and hopefully hang on for a piece.
I think you're right there. And the one to her outside is Racing Belle. Obviously, she put up that huge mile on the Perfect Sting. She comes into this race off of a couple of weeks off, but, she's no slouch. She come home in 25-4. I know Test of Faith was parked the entire mile that time out, but this mare has really been proving herself.
Look, she went 147-2, Jess, and she did all the heavy lifting. She was on the front end there. No one set her up, so I think you have to give a lot of respect to Racing Belle. She's going to be a solid second choice here to the big favorite.
I know people are overlooking Lion Sentinel, but how do you not talk about her? I know her lines look a little bit off. That Roses Are Red final wasn't great. She had a little bit of time off going into the Perfect Sting last week. She draws another outside post tonight, but she is versatile. One thing people don't know about her is she does own plenty of gate speed.
She does, but there's a lot of early speed in this race, particularly inside of her as well. And the 10 Michaela, I think she's almost certainly going to leave. So I think Lion Sentinel, she could find herself a little bit far back here in the early stages tonight. She'll need a lively pace tempo, Jess, if so, to pick up some of the pieces late.
You mentioned Michaela having a lot of early gate speed, but from post 10, is this a place where she's going to have to come from off of the pace? Last week was just a huge battle between her and Test of Faith. Post 10 is really hard. You're getting 13-1.
I think big money on the line here, Jess, $175,000. I think Brian Sears' hand is forced. I think it is a full sin mission here from post 10 tonight. We'll see if he can clear and make the lead. I think we're going to have a shootout into that opening turn.
A horse that we have to talk about is obviously reigning horse of the year, Test of Faith from post 1. I know you really love this one. I know those last couple of miles she's been putting up have been tremendous. She won that graduate final last week in 48-1. She gets the rail to work with tonight.
And we just heard trainer Brett Pelling, who won the last race, raving about Test of Faith. She has been such a gem, Jess. She's so consistent week in and week out. For those that don't follow the racing every week, again, a little college sports tie into Test of Faith. Eddie Grand, who's in the University of Kentucky football coaching staff, well, he's a co-owner on Test of Faith. So Eddie's enjoyed the ride on Test of Faith. Who wouldn't? She's a reigning horse of the year.
Yes, of course. And so take us through your Pick 4 ticket. It's a $125,000 guaranteed pool here, 50-cent base bet.
Yeah, we're going to see a 6-figure Pick 4 pull, Jess. It ends with the Meadowlands pace. So this is really the signature wager of the night here at the Big M. I think we're going to see a lot of favorites in this sequence, at least early on. So I'm going to keep my ticket, guys, as narrow as I can. I'm going to put in a $6 play here for 50 cents. No, I am going to play it a lot more than one time. But Test of Faith is a single, I think, here in the opening leg, particularly drawing inside. She's a 2-5 favorite. I think it's more of a layup spot for her tonight. Bulldog Hanover, the first ever standardbred to pace 2 sub-47 miles. He's done done it in back-to-back weeks. He's a killer. Going to have to single him again there in that next race. $500,000 on the line, the William Houghton. And then the third leg, Jess, this is where I think things could get a little tricky. It's the Hambletonian Maturity. Keep in mind, it's 1.25 miles. We don't ever really see distance changes in harness racing, so it's a little bit of a different variable for some of these trotters. I'm going to go 6 deep there. I'm going to use the 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, and 11 Incommunicado, $100 bill, Ambassador Hanover. Those are 3 long shots on the inside. I think they're going to track along, get some nice trips. You've got a couple of favorites on the outside, Rattle My Cage, Quattro de Julio, and then you throw in the mare against the boys, Bella Bellini. I think you have to use her, but who knows what kind of trip she's going to get there from the second tier. Finally, we ended on the big dance, Jess, the Meadowlands Pace. I'm going to take 2 horses that have 2 different racing styles. I'm going to take Beach Glass on top. I think he's going to lead the gate. He's going to be aggressive. I'm going to use Nighthawk as well. I know he's going to be rolling in the late stages.
Okay, there you have it. And a couple of singles in there. And the Meadowlands Pace closes out that nice pick 4 sequence. You still have time to get those wagers in. We'll send it back to you, Greg.
Jessica, Gabe, thank you. By the way, you see right-hand side of your screen, Canterbury Park, there was a disqualification. So the Alligator Hunter weaving in and out in the stretch, taken down, new order of finish, 6-8-7. The Alligator Hunter who interfered with Hot Shot Kid placed behind that horse, and Zoe's Delight gets the win via DQ.
As fortunate a winner as you're going to see today, because at no point was Zoe's Delight winning race 7 at Canterbury Park until the stewards ripped the winner down.
Meanwhile, in this Dorothy Houghton Memorial, we see 2-5 on Test of Faith. Talk about, I mean, there are some perils with the inside for a heavy favorite, aren't there?
Not as much so in harness racing, right? Our knee jerk, being more thoroughbred guys, would be a poor break. So that's the thing about harness racing. The thing about harness racing is if they go on a break, it doesn't matter if they're the 1 or the 10. The night ordinarily is over.
You're the target, though. You don't want to get caught up in the duel.
Oh, this horse. I don't imagine that this mare will be on the front end. I would imagine that Racine Bell and Colby's Gigi are going to leave for position. And I'll tell you what, I think the White Knight, Brian Sears, behind the outside filly, Michaela, his hand's almost forced. She did not leave as strongly as she ordinarily does last week, and her night was kind of over. Test of Fate took the fight to her last week.
Still a huge effort from her. She did all the running up front.
I would imagine she's on the dead send from the 10-hole tonight. That's what I would imagine.
Post.
It's a tough post, especially with some speed inside of it with Racine Bell to 6 and Colby's Gigi to 7. But I would imagine that Brian Sears, I'm a big Brian Sears fan. I've made a lot of money with Brian Sears in my life. She was kind of exposed last week. If she can't get to the lead, it's going to be tough for her. If I thought she could clear, I thought there would be an outside chance for her to upset tonight, but it's tough for her from out there.
Test of Faith from the inside, 26 for 33 lifetime. David Miller in the bike. Let's go to Ken Workington.
5-2 on the 6 Racine Bell. Good rematch here, marquee rematch between these 2 mares. For $175,000, the Dorothy Houghton Memorial, sponsored by David and Mary Ellen McDuffie, starts the late pick 4. They're on gate. Field of 10. Here they come. And they're off, and it's a firing line out of there. Amazing Dream, Test of Faith leaps sharply, and Gia Surreal from between horses. Racine Bell's caught 5 deep in the first turn. Watch Me Now is right there, 5th, and now swinging up and coming on is Grace Hill. Grace Hill is 4th and on the move up. So Watch Me Now back to 5th on the inside. Amazing Dream is 6th. Then on the inside comes Fire Start, Hanover, and Michaela near the rear of the field. It's Colby's GG 9th, and Lion Sentinel is 10th. 26 flat opens it up here. Across the backstretch, Grace Hill. Grace Hill and Andrew McCarthy grabs in to back it down. Racine Bell in that 2-hole with Gia Surreal in the inside 3rd. A Test of Faith gapped in 4th here, close to the half. Watch Me Now, 5th on the inside. Amazing Dream gets underway from 6 with Fire Start Hanover. Then it's Kobe's GG on the inside with Michaela 9th on the outside and Lion Sentinel. Half 53 and 2, 27 and 2. Onto the far turn they go. It's Grace Hill, the big long shot here. Grace Hill at 60-1. 2-hole ride for Racine Bell in repeat mode. And here comes Test of Faith, and she's repeat-minded as well. Starting to work first over, third on the outside, soon to be second. Gia Surreal needs racing room. A late move coming from Amazing Dream. She's fifth, now fourth on the outside. Test of Faith Unleashed on the outside. 120 and 3, 27 and 1 in the stretch drive. Test of Faith takes the lead and glides clear out of the pocket. Racine Bell is full out. Amazing Dream on the outside. All through is Grace Hill in deep stretch. Test of Faith destroying them here in the Dorothy Houghton Memorial. It's Test of Faith. Amazing Dream coming on for second. And then a photo, 147 flat. 147 flat, world record performance from Test of Faith.
Total domination from Test of Faith, world record performance, as Brett Pelling and David Miller go back-to-back.
Jason Bartlett behind the 6, Racine Bell, had a look of terror on his face. He was in the pocket. He was pocketed behind the long shot leader, Grace Hill, and it was twofold. He knew Test of Faith was coming, and he knew Grace Hill was going to start to back up, and he started urging her on the left side to get her outside. Test of Faith was on top of her and past her so fast, the old line, he didn't know what hit him. He didn't know what hit him. And this was an unbelievable 147 world record. Phenomenal performance tonight from your 1 to 5 favorite, Test of Faith.
Made 1 to 5 look like value here. Test of Faith now 27 wins in 34 career starts.
Defending Horse of the Year.
Incredible.
See those purple wheels of David Miller. They have won an awful lot of races down at the Big M. I don't think any of them have ever been a world record performance, though. He got one tonight. This was some effort from this 4-year-old daughter of Art Major.
You thought we might see some records shattered tonight. We've already seen one.
The Bulldogs next.
Indeed. That will be in the William Houghton Memorial, worth $500,000. Test of Faith, just absolutely sensational in this Dorothy Houghton Memorial with a world record performance, 147 flat.
Now more than ever, it's time to get with the program because New York Reds start with an advantage. New York Reds run for serious green at Belmont and Saratoga. New York Bred maidens run for up to $75,000 and allowance horses for up to $85,000. And serious New York Bred owners can collect awards of up to $20,000 per horse per race in open company. So get back with the program. Seriously.
Adelphi Racing Club, offering a truly personal racing experience.
I would just say that it's a smaller, tighter-knit group. Everybody has a common interest. We spend a lot more time together than some of the bigger operations, and I very much enjoy that.
We're not just a syndicate, and our members aren't just investors. We are partners. Contact us to get a taste of the Adelphi experience and come hang with us this Saratoga meet.
Ever dream of owning your own racehorse? How would you like to get in the winner's circle with the #1 harness racing partnership in the U.S., VIP Stable? There's nothing like the thrill of your horse coming down the stretch. To find out more, call VIP Stable at 877-VIP-WIN-1 or visit us on the web at www.vipstable.com. Turning horse racing fans into racehorse owners. Be a winner.
We're back on America's Day at the Races. Part of the nightlife downtown on Broadway here in Saratoga Springs. Always something to see.
Think he's playing Fugue for Tin Horns? I got the horse right here.
Ah,
His name
could
is
be.
Paul Revere.
Test of faith. What a performance we just witnessed in the Dorothy Houghton Memorial. This was incredible.
For the Brett Pelling fans out there, back-to-back wins on this stakes-laden card at the Big M tonight. I shouldn't say we might not see anything easier than this victory by Test of Faith because the Bulldogs up next, but this was a heck of a performance tonight. A world record performance, 147. You know, in harness racing, you don't see margins of victory like that very often, 3.5, 4 lengths. It was a heck of a performance, 260, 210, 210. Those prices are okay. Look at him. How about Amazing Dream busting it up, 69.80 for that exact at 53 to 1.
1 to 5, and you can still create value in this game.
Love it. Try comes back 180, a healthy $182. There you go.
And the one you're referring to, where we could see a time that maybe even shatters what we just saw, Bulldog Hanover's last 3 starts, all wins, 147, 146, 146, and 1. 1 to 5 right now in the Bulldog.
145 and 3. That's the prediction for Bulldog Hanover tonight from the Big A. I think he goes a sub 146 mile. I think you're going to see a bananas performance here tonight. I'm really looking forward. Source is so cool. He's
Not
a real
worried
cool
at all about post 7.
No, it doesn't bother. I'm nothing. I don't think anything. He won from post 6. He went the mile when he came back to the Big M. 3 starts back, he went the mile in 147, easy peasy. I think you're going to see the same thing tonight. Dexter Dunn.
Those 3 final time, you don't see that back to back to back. Do you?
I said it last week when we were on the program, that back-to-back miles like that, right? And I guess that could be the only thing. Can he do this 3? And because he didn't miss any time, this would be 3 weeks in a row, tying a world record, a fifth of a second off of a world record. But the way this racetrack is playing tonight, Greg, I think that world record falls tonight.
All right, we'll keep our eyes on that. It's going to be a good one. Coming up next is William Houghton, $500,000 purse in this memorial. We'll get to it in just a little bit. D. Wayne Lukas, legendary, the coach. He's got maybe the best 3-year-old in the Phillies. He's certainly the leader of this division right now off that win in the Kentucky Oaks. We will see her next weekend here at Saratoga in the Coaching Club American Oaks.
Not going to hold her defeat in the Preakness against the Colts and Geldings against her. Ness certainly flattered this performance by winning a bang-up second in the Test of the Champion in the Belmont Stakes, and they're going to renew their rivalry, it looks like, in the CCA Oaks. Looking forward to that.
It's worked out on the Oklahoma training track just recently. It was sensational. It's going to be the first look at the main track here at Saratoga when she lines up in that CCA Oaks.
Yeah, Wayne likes to train him over at the Oklahoma, and it's great to see Wayne back up at Saratoga after missing some time here at the Spa. And yeah, I mean, she's it's a nice division. I think Nest is. I think Nest might be up against it trying this filly again at the 9 furlongs. But when they get along, and provided all goes well, they get along to the Alabama, I think she'll get her edge back. And I think distance is her great equalizer. At Nest's great equalizer. It should be a really fun race, though, because these 2 fillies certainly, you can argue some of the horses, some of the fillies in the division, but I think you could put them 1-2 right now.
Let's hear from D. Wayne on his star filly who won the Oaks.
I thought it was exceptional for not only the time, but the way she did it, and she seemed well within herself coming home. So all of the trainers always say it's exceptional, but this one probably was. We're working on a surface that she's not used to, and that deep and loose surface here on the Oklahoma track, and compared to the surface at Churchill Downs, which was very much stiff and glib. We got some grazing area, which we don't have too much of at Churchill, and everything we're able to get her out. We got a round pen here, we can let her roll in, and we got some things that she likes to do that we can do here that we weren't able to do at Churchill. But we gave her, it was an 8-week break from her race, her previous race, to the one on the 23rd coming up. So this was a refreshing change, good weather. We got out of the heat that was in the Midwest, and everything up here is kind of fallen into place.
Great to see not just Dwayne Lucas back, and he's back for the first time with really a big presence here since 2019, but he's back with a powerful barn led, of course, by the top 3-year-old filly in the country right now. We're going to see this rematch of the top 2 finishers in the Oaks next weekend.
Right on top of the pony, next to his star
Still
filly.
gets up at 3 a.m. every day.
That's unbelievable. You see Luis Saez was aboard for her workout and gets on her and stuff. Yeah, it's impressive.
At 87 years old.
I've said this, I don't know, in all of sports, right, I don't know if anybody revolutionized their job, their position. Wayne obviously is a horse trainer, then Wayne Lucas. He was the first one to set up franchises across the country successfully and in a big, big way. I mean, stakes winner after stakes winner, Dwayne off the plane, shipping horses across the country. He was a pioneer, a trendsetter, a trailblazer, whatever euphemism you want to use about him. And there's not enough for me. Just revolutionized the game and his position and his job.
Yeah, without question. Secret Oath is going to get another head-to-head battle with Nest. I guess Nest actually going to get another crack at Secret Oath. And since that time, she was the runner-up of the Belmont Stakes against the boys.
Yeah, stablemate Mo Donegal getting the better of her. She did not have the cleanest break. Jose Ortiz put her in position early on. You see Mo Donegal. They're both in the Micropole orange and blue. Let's go Mets. Mo Donegal has that clean outside run under Arad Ortiz Jr. You see Jose going to have to alter course here a little bit and follow Big Brother to the outside. And by this point, coming past the 3/16 pole, Mo Donegal's gone. Nest runs on really nicely. You know what, Greg? She always had the look of a filly. Her trainer, Todd Pletcher, ran her first time out of the mile on the 16th. Actually cut her back for the 10th at Aqueduct, which she ran out of real estate. Excuse me, going a flat mile. Distance has always been key. He talked at the Belmont Draw about how when they nominated her for the Triple Crown, they weren't thinking Derby or Preakness. They were thinking Belmont Stakes. I think along those lines, a filly like her is probably going to get better as the season wanes on. No pun intended. I would imagine that some more seasoning, the more she races, the better she's going to get. The more distance she gets, the better she's going to get.
So with what you're saying, maybe the Coaching Club American Oaks is not where she's going to beat Secret Oath, but maybe the Alabama at 1.25 miles?
Yeah, because, you know, Secret Oath is a genuine filly. She's a really, really nice filly. So it's not like she can – I don't know if she can improve enough and mature enough in these 3 months between the matchups that she can get the better of her at 9 furlongs. But at 10 furlongs, they're going to start playing Nest's game.
We'd love to see a couple of matchups
Absolutely.
at the Saratoga meeting between these two of the top 3-year-old fillies in the country. And the first of what we hope to be a couple of matchups comes up next Saturday. Coaching Club American Oaks, where don't forget, last year we saw certainly the biggest upset of the meet when Malathaat, Kentucky Oaks winner, defeated by Maracuja. Maybe one of the biggest upsets we saw all year.
Yeah, just a 4-horse field last year, and Maracuja was able to. That was a brilliant ride by Ricardo Santana Jr. That might have been the ride of the year. He played a little possum on Johnny Velasquez and Malathaat and was able to nail him on the line. Johnny doesn't lose too many photos. Maracuja got the job done that day, though, over Malathaat.
World record we just witnessed in the Dorothy Houghton Memorial. Test of Faith. Trained by Brett Pelling, driven by David Miller, 27th win of her career. We'll be back.
Stay fabulous. Resorts World.
Back on America's Day at the Races, our program brought to you in part by legendary Claiborne Farm. 100 years of doing the usual, unusually well. Up next, William Houghton Memorial, $500,000 purse, and Bulldog Hanover, 20 for 28 in his career, and those last 3 wins just devastating. Final time-wise, he is 2-5 on the board right now. Dexter Dunn will drive for Noel Daly. Let's go to Jessica and Gabe.
Thanks so much. We'll get to that favorite Bulldog Hanover in just a minute because I want to talk about a few horses that could place underneath of them. How about the 4 Tattoo Artist? We just saw David Miller put up a world record performance with Test of Faith. This horse owns plenty of gate speed, Gabe.
You know, he really does, and that's going to be his weapon of choice, Jess. He draws inside of the main early speed here, so I think he's going to blast. You know, whether he ends up cutting this mile, we'll see. He could track along, but either way, I know Tattoo Artist is going to lead the gate.
A couple of horses to his inside, Catch the Fire. It's the first time we've seen him at the Big M this year. We've seen him put up some dominant efforts here over the course of last year. You know, this is his first start here. He obviously can't leave Ohio while he's breeding, but he gets a key inside post to work with. We know he loves the track.
You know, he was pretty good last year. This year, he's had a little trouble, you know, maybe finding his best footing, Jess. 4 starts, winless. Got a couple of seconds. I think a little bit of an outside puncher's chance here. You have to step up his game a little bit.
2 Alanya horses in here draw the outside of the gate, the 9 and the 10, Rocky Road Hanover. Wow, what a performance he put up last week, again from post 9. 25-2, closing well against Bulldog Hanover, obviously. Todd McCarthy back in the bike. When you talk to trainer Tony Alanya, you know, a couple starts ago, he bled coming home in 24-4. They had the addition of Lasix to him. This is 3rd start Lasix tonight, and he's versatile. Tony thinks he's confident he can get off of the gate well, and we've obviously seen last week he can track horses down as well.
That's going to be the tricky thing. You know, how are they going to get involved in the race, Jess? This is a big, bulky field. Keep in mind there's one here from the 2nd tier, Nicholas Beach as well. So that's going to be the key. How are Rocky Road Hanover and a Buckabed Hanover going to get worked in? They both were sensational. They were both finished up loaded last week, but it's just going to be a matter of tricky posts. How do you navigate the trip?
All right, let's talk about the favorite right now, Bulldog Hanover, post 7. If this horse doesn't give you goosebumps and you're not a fan of harness racing, 2 sub 147 miles, obviously equaling the world record. 2 starts ago, 146. Came back last week, 146-1. I mean, he's just phenomenal. But now he draws outside of the gate, and you mentioned we have a trailer in here in post 11.
Yeah, I don't think it makes any difference where Bulldog Hanover draws. Jess, he is the first horse in the history of harness racing to pace 2 sub-47 miles. He was 46-1 winner last week. He was 46 flat the week before. and he did it in back-to-back weeks. Not only has he done it twice in his career in consecutive weeks, he's been sensational. The bad news is here, it started to rain a little bit, Jess. Let's hope this track holds up, because I know we were all looking for potential history tonight. Could he be the horse to break that 156 barrier? Could he pace 45 and change here tonight? That's a major question. Let's hope we hold this weather off just long enough to see him put on a big show.
It is cooling down a bit. You did mention the rain is starting to fall. I was talking to the trackmen earlier today. They weren't able to open up the track after we had that rain earlier, but we've seen, 2 world record performances, a new track record. I was hoping it wasn't going to rain before this race, but it's not going to look too good.
Yeah, you know what, and you said it too. It's gotten a little chillier too. The temperature has plummeted here. We got to be in the 60s right now, so we are in a lot different climate than we were for the last race. It's a little unfortunate, because I know we were all eyes tonight around Bulldog Hanover.
Absolutely. So, he's obviously the one in here to look at is 1-9. Hopefully we can see history made. If not, we're definitely in for a good race. Send it back to you, Greg.
Jessica, Gabe, thank you. All eyes will be on the 7 here, Bulldog Hanover, and we'll see if history is made.
If this rain keeps up, I have to retract my 145 and 3, just so you guys know. But yeah, looking for 1-9 now. Wow, he had drifted all the way up to. It sounds ridiculous to say this. He drifted all the way up to 2-5 at one point, and now he's back down to 1-5. The number 11, so you folks take notes. Number 11, Nicholas Beach, is actually going to start behind the number 1. So this is a second tier race.
Yes, and you see that rain coming down. That's a speed pacer from that second tier, from that brother and sister team of Jennifer and Joe Bongiorno. 46-1 on the board. But again, look, even we saw it with a short price favorite in the last race, still can create value underneath.
Absolutely. I don't know if there's as much chance for chaos here. The 2, Catch the Fire, would be the horse that I would want to try to get into the number. He's returning to the Big M for the first time since last November, when he got beaten a $350,000 race by just a length. And after that, we didn't see him for a year, for 6 months, I'm sorry, until
He's pulled
this
off
year.
some big upsets before.
He has.
In similar spots.
He has. And he'd be the horse that, if you want to try to get a big price in your gimmicks, I think the number 2, Catch the Fire, and Scott Zarin, the driver, could get you some value. So maybe a tripart wheel and throw him in the mix, or a key with him over the 4 and 5 as well, and try and get him in the mix. I got to tell you, I don't get Rocky Road Hanover, the horse on the screen. I don't. I know he was
a huge effort last start, parked wide, wound up second, coming home in 25-2 against Bulldog Hanover.
Yeah. When a horse is in form like Bulldog Hanover, I want to see the horses behind him do it again. I'm fine. I don't need him to prove to me that he has to do it again. But if this horse is the second choice, Rocky Road Hanover, at 6-1, I would try a few others. I would play the 7 over the 2, 4, and 5 in here.
Well, he did produce that big effort from the same post he has tonight in post 9. We'll see if he can reproduce it. Still likely not good enough to come close to beating Bulldog Hanover, but maybe to get a piece of it.
Maybe. But I think if you're looking to make some money like you were able to do last race, with Test of Faith, I would look elsewhere. 7 with the 2, 4, 5, maybe even a little 10. A buck a bet Hanover was making up a lot of ground last time.
This 7 Bulldog Hanover, was this the one you were most looking forward to seeing tonight?
Look, the Meadowlands Pace is a fun race, and like I said, I've had the fortune and the luxury and the pleasure of covering the race live, so it's always one of my favorite harness nights. But this was a very close 1-1A. Let's put it like that. Very close second.
1-5 favorite. Will we see a world record from Bulldog Hanover? Dexter Dunn in the bike. It's the William Houghton Memorial. Let's go to Ken Workington.
It's post time. Preferred equine starting gate. Rolling field of 11. 1-5 on the 7. Bulldog Hanover shooting for 6 in a row. World champion Bulldog Hanover number 7. 1-5. And it's 6-1, the 9 Rocky Road Hanover and Todd McCarthy. Dexter Dunn with Bulldog Hanover number 7 at 1-5. It's the $500,000 William Houghton Memorial TVG Free-for-All, sponsored by Fashion Farms, race 10. Here they come. They're off. Tattoo Artist on the inside with This Is the Plan and Bulldog Hanover, and from the outside some speed from Rocky Road Hanover, and the scrambles on with Which Way to the Beach on the inside, 4th, cutting the corner as they head to the opening quarter. And Nicholas Beach got away well. Bulldog Hanover's going up and around him. Then comes Catch the Fire near the rear of the field with American Courage and Nandolo third to last. On the outside comes a Buck a Bet Hanover, and the trailer is Dragon Said. First quarter up in 26, flat 2 wide across the back stretch they go, and it's Rocky Road Hanover. Here comes Bulldog Hanover to challenge for the lead. He's working hard early. Tattoo Artist on the inside, Tight Rain third. This Is the Plan is 4th on the inside. Which Way to the Beach edges to the outside. He's fed racetrack. Nicholas Beach is going to follow him. And then it's Catch the Fire on the outside, stride for stride with Nandolo at the rear of the field. American Courage is next, then Dragon Said, and now trailing is a Buck a Bet Hanover. 53-1 for the half. The Bulldog is taken over. Bulldog Hanover and Dexter Dunn, they have seized control. Which Way to the Beach, applying some serious pressure with 3/8 to go as they round the turn. Rocky Road Hanover locked in the box now. That's Nicholas Beach, well situated, second over, 4th on the outside. Tattoo Artist is pinned in 5th. Catch the Fire is 3rd over, 6th on the outside. This Is the Plan with no racing room. Bulldog Hanover takes them by 3/4 in 1:20 and 3, 27-2, third quarter speed. Bulldog Hanover in front by 2. It's Bulldog Hanover. Rocky Road Hanover looks for the upset on the outside. The others giving futile chase here for minor spoils. Bulldog Hanover, the Bulldog does it again. Bulldog Hanover, Rocky Road Hanover, and then Tattoo Artist. It's Bulldog Hanover, 1:45-4. There it is, the fastest mile in harness racing history. It doesn't get any better than that. Wow!
2 back-to-back performances where we have now seen world records. Bulldog Hanover, sensational for the 21st win of his career.
So awesome. He is so cool. Dexter Dunn took a look over at Which Way to the Beach. There was like this disdain. Like, what are you even trying to do? Why are you here right now? And he grabbed he reined on him a couple of times, and he rocked the bike a little bit, and you see how the Bulldog just responds for him. So cool. 1:45-4. We talked about this. You were going to see history on this program tonight, and there it was, 1:45-4. That's the fastest harness race the world has ever seen.
Incredible, and a lot of people expect, especially with the times we've been seeing tonight, expected that this was coming, and Bulldog Hanover delivers.
And what's so cool about the performance, Greg, is he left for the position. You talked about being a little concerned with the post draw, right? Rocky Road Hanover did things very differently tonight. I didn't like Rocky. He paced an unbelievable. I mean, he would have been a 1/5 of a second off the track record with this performance 3 weeks ago. He did all of the dirty work tonight. He was, I don't want to say he was parked, but he was on the long march for 3/8 of a mile. He didn't clear until 5/8, till the 5/8 pole. And when he did, he just improved with every position. What a cool horse. Look at him. He's ready to go again.
He is sensational. And again, we talked about him now 4 consecutive performances where he has just been lights out, and now the world record.
My parents used to sneak me into Roosevelt Raceway when I was 3 years. You got to be 6 years old to get into Roosevelt Raceway. They snuck me in when I was 3 because I was chubby enough and cute enough to sneak in as a 6-year-old. I've been watching harness racing for 40 years. I have never seen back-to-back-to-back miles like this in the 40 years I've been watching. I knocked 10 of them off, say 30 years since I was 15 years old. I have not seen back-to-back-to-back performances like this. And I got a real honor and privilege to have covered the last two here on America's Day at the Races. These have been sublime performances. I watched a replay of the race 2 weeks back, and you were just wowed. And then you watched last week live. This was something completely different, otherworldly.
Well, that's going to be a fun winner's circle photo for these connections. Noel Daly, Dexter Dunn, Jack Darling Stables. Just incredible what Bulldog Hanover has been able to do. We're going to get to Canterbury Park, race that just happened. Minnesota Turf Distaff moments ago on the turf. Here's Paul Allen.
Ready for the Minnesota Turf Distaff. And they're racing in the 8th. That's CBY. Midnight Current outbreaks the field, trying to extend a winning streak, and runs about 2.5 lengths clear from stablemate Let's Skedaddle, who has given up second as Midnight Current opens up by 1.5 lengths. Midnight Current cuts the corner, going rather quickly, leading it nearly 2. In second is Clickbait, about 1.5 lengths clear from stablemate and defending champion, ready to run away. She's covering up Scent of Success. The pace continues to be hot. The field is well strung out. After that, Rush Hour Traffic, poised about 5-6 lengths from the lead, if good enough, and under a very tight pull. That's Rush Hour Traffic advancing and pulling Lindy right out of the saddle. After that, Let's Skedaddle, 3.5 clear from Molly's Angel to the outside of Come On Sweet Pea, who's asked for run. After that is Shabam, and the one in last is Icy Will Burn Ya. They head into the far turn in the $50,000 Minnesota Turf Distaff, and Midnight Current continues to show the way from Clickbait. Midnight Current 1. Behind her is Scent of Success. After that, we come to Let's Skedaddle, who's beginning to skedaddle from behind. Right next to Let's Skedaddle is, we have losing ground now, Rush Hour Traffic. Midnight Current with a burst. Midnight Current with a keen turn of speed is gone. That was very impressive. 4.59 in the Turf Distaff.
Midnight Current making 4 consecutive victories now. 4 for 5 overall on the grass.
Could have grabbed her for $25,000 2 starts back, Greg. Why wasn't she in for the waiver? Just kidding. I don't even know if they have the waiver at Canterbury. She got the job done in the allowance ranks, the claiming ranks, the open allowance ranks, and now she takes down this little 50K state-bred stakes. I mean, as easy as can be. She's no Bulldog Hanover, but that was a nice performance tonight.
No, she is not. But, yeah, impressive with that burst. $4.40 for the win. Let's Skedaddle, Scent of Success, second and third, resulting in a $79 trifecta owned by Lothenbach Stables. Homebred for Lothenbach. Pick 4, $476 for that $2 play. World record. Bulldog Hanover, 145-4 for the mile and the William Houghton Memorial.
Ever dream of owning your own racehorse? How would you like to get in the winner's circle with the #1 harness racing partnership in the U.S., VIP Stable? There's nothing like the thrill of your horse coming down the stretch. To find out more, call VIP Stable at 877-VIP-WIN-1 or visit us on the web at www.vipstable.com. Turning horse racing fans into racehorse owners. Be a winner.
We take pride in what we do.
For me, it's more of a passion than actual work. I'm an assistant trainer.
Carpenter.
I'm a peace officer.
I'm a jockey.
I'm a gardener.
I'm a groom.
Clocker.
Assistant starter. Trainer.
ESL teacher.
I love what I do.
There's so many jobs that come together every day. It's a collective effort that really makes this ball go round.
We are New York Racing! I couldn't imagine working anywhere else.
For me, riding horses in the morning is the best thing I can do.
New York Racing helps support my small business.
It's extremely important to the New York economy.
Like my dream come true.
This is like a big family. We are New York Horse Racing.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. RTN has packages that start at $5 per month.
Be a lot of high fives going around after this world record performance in the William Houghton Memorial Bulldog Hanover. Sensational 145 and 4 mile.
Unbelievable. We were talking off camera. You know, forget about harness racing. In all my years of watching horse racing, the standardbred, thoroughbred, quarter horse, you name it. What this horse has done in the last 3 weeks is nothing short of remarkable. I mean, really remarkable. And it's just mile after mile. These last 3 miles, this horse has paced in the last 3 weeks. Legendary. Legendary performances. And the best part of them is they're never in doubt. They're never in doubt.
How confident was Dexter Dunn?
Wow. Unbelievable. That must have been such an exhilarating thing. I mean, just knowing. He took a look at the board, and I'm sure when he saw 120 and 3, he knew he had to scoot this horse home if he wanted the world record. And he started pulling on the reins and really started urging him on late in the game. And when you can do something like that, and you know that that's within your reach, within your grasp, I think you have to go for it. And it was really, really cool to see. You asked about the Meadowlands Pace and the Bulldog. I was looking forward to seeing the Bulldog. We still have the Meadowlands Pace to come, but, I mean, that's going to be kind of tough to top tonight.
Back-to-back world records. Yeah. Incredible. But, yes, the main event, signature event, still to come with that Meadowlands Pace. Let's move on to what is next. Hamiltonian Maturity.
1.25 miles.
Yeah.
10 furlongs. You don't see that too often, Greg. Stretch out. Bella Bellini, they're betting the filly. We talked about this earlier. We said we were going to see Bella Bellini later on in the card, and here she is. She also is going to leave from the second tier. Puts her behind, not the 8 ball, but the 1 ball in this instance, pun intended. And we'll see what Dexter Dunn, boy, the magic hands of Dexter Dunn, what he can do from that second tier tonight with the filly against the boys.
Back to the world record performance we just saw. Let's check in with Gabe.
Thanks so much, Greg. And, the fastest ever here, Bulldog Hanover. We'll begin with driver Dexter Dunn. Dexter, you had to work a little bit to make the lead tonight. It was a shootout in the opening turn. You cleared just before the half-mile mark.
Yeah, it looked that way on paper, Gabe, and it happened that way. And, I knew my fella had the respect just to bide my time and wait for them to, do their speed and then get the front. So, it worked out good. And once Toddy crossed over with Rocky Road and he seen clear, he marched on after that.
And you weren't just racing the clock late, Dexter, because Rocky Road Hanover put in a bold bid there to be second and behind you.
Yeah, I could feel him hard on my helmet there coming to 3/4. I knew he was going to be a fight up the stretch here, and my horse just showed what he can do up the stretch here late.
How special is this to be behind the fastest ever?
I mean, when you think about it, all the horses and great horses that have raced before to be the fastest ever in the world, it's pretty special, Gabe.
Congratulations, Dexter. I know you got a couple of stakes assignments. We've got trainer Noel Daly here as well. Noel, talk to us about the last 4 weeks. We've never seen a run like this in the history of harness racing.
No, that's the scary part, that a horse can put it together like that so many times in a row. That's hard to do. Good horses can put in a quick mile, but usually, he went in 48 2 weeks before he came here, then had a week off. And 47, 46, 46 in 1, and then 45 change here tonight. That's amazing that a horse can do that.
And I know the world record was in the back of your mind. Obviously, the first mission was to win the race. 3/4, 20 and 3. You might have thought it was a little slow to do something like this tonight.
Yeah, I did. I actually thought, maybe, as I say, it's $500,000. That was the main thing. We're just looking after the horse for the month. You want to get that money, but that was great that he capped off the month like he did.
A special performance and a special run. Bulldog Hanover, he just continues to impress us. Noel Daly and Dexter Dunn, big effort here. The fastest ever, guys, Bulldog Hanover.
Gabe, thank you. It's been a fun evening to see these back-to-back performances, these world records. And the Bulldog putting in a special performance.
See Dexter giving him a kiss a little above the nose. I would too. I mean, like I said, that's just got to be. I have had the pleasure of driving in about 9 media races. And I have to tell you, until I got into the announcer's booth to call a race, which was my lifelong dream, no adrenaline rush like getting behind one of those horses. So I can just imagine what it was like to go that fast tonight.
We're going to take a timeout. When we return, the story of the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation, their mission, finding second homes for our star equine athletes once their careers on the racetrack are over.
Purple Haze Standardbred Adoption Program was created in 2018 by Wanda Policini. Purple Haze provides training to transition into new careers and finding homes. Horses are started with groundwork and then ridden in an arena before going on. Horses at Purple Haze are evaluated and adopted out based on abilities and temperament. If you have a horse that you care about, or if you're looking for a great pleasure horse, please contact Purple Haze Standardbred Adoption Program.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Nairo Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions. And offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night, nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Nairo Bets. Back on America's Day at the Races, program brought to you in part by America's Best Racing. For the love of the race, visit americasbestracing.net today. James and Sons, you're going to head there after the races?
Now I am really, really, really jealous. I could go for. I haven't had a cigar
time.
I haven't had a cigar in 5 days.
Good for you. Hamiltonian Maturity is next. And 8-5, Rattle My Cage. Oki Svanstedt, Yannick Gingras. Let's go to Jessica and Gabe.
Gabe, I know you're 6 deep here in the pick four, and honestly, you really could spread it here. I know a lot of people are looking at Rattle My Cage, obviously coming off of that big graduate win, and of course the lone mare in here, Bella Bellini. Unfortunate she draws post 11. Of course, for those watching, post 11 is the back tier, so she'll start behind the 1 or the 2. Let's talk about Rattle My Cage first. I mean, he's just been sensational since coming back at the age of 4. A little bit of French bred here by Love You, excuse me. 4 wins from 5 starts this year, and when he came back to the winner's circle Carnival last week. He couldn't even blow out a candle.
Yeah, he's been so impressive, Jess, but this is his toughest task. Let's not forget, this is going to be raced at a mile and a quarter, or a mile and an eighth rather, distance. So it's a little longer. They're going to get a little bit more of a run in the stretch. It'll still be 2 turns, but that does change things up a little bit. These horses that are going to show these gate speed, are they going to be able to last at a mile and an eighth just as easily as they do at a mile? That's going to be the question for Rattle My Cage. And I think Quattro de Julio from post 9, he's going to have to leave as well. So they've got a tough post to leave from, and you get the added distance. I think that's what makes this race a little more wide open than you may think.
I think you're right. Speaking of Quattro de Julio, last week was the first time we've seen him being taken off the gate, and I think his entire life, quite honestly. And he raced really well. I know he finished 7th. He did trot home in 26 and change, but he made up a lot of ground in the stretch.
He did make up a lot of ground. He had post 10 there, tricky spot to lead from, and we'll see. I don't think he'll duck twice. Big money on the line here, just $432,000. I think he's going to come off the gate here swinging tonight and try and get some position, because you learned last week, if you don't get any position, it's going to be a tough task.
What about a horse that's sitting on the big board right now at 32-1, Take All Comers? He's been super consistent this year for Jim Campbell and driver Tim Teedrick. He finished 2nd behind Rattle My Cage in that graduate final.
Well, he's got early speed, too. So that's also the other wild card in here. We'll Take All Comers lead from post 7. In the big field, Jess, it's so tough to close enough ground late when you have to pass that many horses late. So we'll see. Take All Comers, he left last week. He parlayed a perfect trip behind Rattle My Cage into a nice second-place finish.
And, of course, the lone mare in here, Bella Bellini. I mean, I think she's just as sharp as she's ever been. You talked to Dexter and Nifty last week, and, they both said she's just been sensational. Post 11 can be a bit tricky, but honestly, when I was looking over this race, she overcame a very difficult mile in that Armbro flight a couple of starts back, and then obviously came back with 3 back-to-back wins.
She does, and I do think that maybe the added distance helps her just because she's from the 2nd tier. She's not going to be able to leave the gate. She's going to be following a horse off the gate. So if she can settle in somewhere mid-pack, 5th or 6th, that added distance is going to give her a little longer to do her job at the late stages. It's never an easy assignment for mare to step up, take on male rivals, but if anyone can do it, it is a champ, Bella Bellini.
I think you're right. And, going back to that, to be not able to leave the gate, she was put on the front early on in this year, but she never really raced well when she was put on the front. So I think this is a good spot for her to track down horses.
I think so as well. She likes a perfect teed-up trip, Jess. If she can track, maybe get some live cover in that outer flow, tip-off cover around that far turn, that's her game. That's where she's going to do her best work. You just never know how that trip's going to work out from the 2nd tier. A lot of times it's tough to take a short price on a horse is going to start from the 2nd tier because those trips, you just don't know how to draw them up. It's not in her hands. When you're starting behind a horse, it's how's that race going to unfold.
Trainer Aki Sponset has 4 in here. We obviously talked about the favorite Rattle My Cage. Ambassador Hanover likes to close as well.
Yes, he does, and that's why I actually went 6 deep here, just because I used Ambassador Hanover in my pick 4 play as well. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 11. I think if things get a little chaotic here, those inside horses can sort of trip out, track along, and Ambassador Hanover has a wicked late kick. So if he gets a lively tempo, that's one long shot I think that can hit the board there. 15-1. I did catch a look at him on the track. He looked very good scoring down.
There you have it, the Hambletonian material for 4-year-old open trotters, a purse of $432,000, going a distance of a mile and an eighth. Back to you, Greg.
Jessica, Gabe, thank you very much. There's a look at the favorite. So 7-5, Rattle My Cage, one of the 4 in here for Åke Svanstedt. Let's go back to the mare on the outside, tackling the boys. Dexter Dunn coming in off that high, off that world record, but now he's going to have to try and navigate some traffic here from that 2nd tier.
So she gets to leave off the gate behind the number 1 Incommunicado. And Incommunicado has some speed. Left for position from post 8 last week against considerably lesser company. But I would imagine that, and you heard what Gabe and Jess talking about, how she likes to have a teed-up trip. That means a little action in front of her, maybe pull some live cover. I think I like her tonight. I thought she'd be a little bit of a better price. I know she was 3-1. I think she was 3-1 morning line. Yeah, 3-1 morning line. I thought she'd be a little bit of a higher price. Filly against mare against the Colts and boys. 2nd tier. I thought there were some things that were discouraging about her. Public does not agree, and they agree with me. I thought she was going to be a little bit more value tonight. Though the other horse in here, the 9, Quattro de Julio, boy, he has had such a bad run of luck in the pillbox when they draw. 10 hole last week in the graduate final. 9-hole in the Cutler back in May, and he almost got the job done that night. Another tough post, but, and I said 1.25 miles before, I apologize, 1 1/8. That extra eighth of a mile could help his cause from that draw. So we'll see if he can work out a trip. He deserves one. He deserves to win one of these. We'll see if tonight's the night.
Even money on the 8. Rattle My Cage. 1 of 4 in here for Okie Svanstedt. Let's go to Ken Workington.
E.T. Gary Jr. Hambletonian maturity at 1 1/8 miles. And they are set for a start for race 11. Field into the stretch for race 11. Here they come. And they're off and trotting. Take all comers with speed on the outside. Balenciaga hustles out with that one as Rattle My Cage gets involved, and going on a break goes Balenciaga. And so it's Take All Comers, joined by Rattle My Cage on the outside. Son of a Mystery is third. It's Ambassador Hanover fourth into the first turn. Quattro de Ulio now fourth on the outside and gaining. So dropping back Ambassador Hanover on the inside, fifth around the first turn. Then it's Incommunicato, followed by $100 Bill and Bella Bellini near the rear of the field with delayed Hanover, and just in front of In a Minute Hanover at the rear of the field there, and on a break is Balenciaga. That first quarter was a torrid 25-4 with the straightaway as Quattro de Ulio has taken charge, but it's a give and go move as Rattle My Cage retakes here for Yannick Gingras. Take All Comers is trotting in third on the inside. It's Son of a Mystery next in line fourth. Ambassador Hanover on the inside fifth. Incommunicato is gapping in sixth. That's Bella Bellini underway seventh on the outside, followed by $100 Bill, and then delayed Hanover on the outside. And In a Minute Hanover, and way back is Balenciaga. Half was hot, 54 2/5. Rattle My Cage in front. It's Rattle My Cage leads the field into the far turn with Quattro de Ulio in the pocket spot. Take All Comers on the inside third, and here comes Bella Bellini, and she's mounting a charge, a menacing move now, third on the outside. Tracked by Ambassador Hanover now fifth on the outside as they turn home. Son of a Mystery gets shoveled to fifth at 3/4. Quattro de Ulio coming on 1:22 for 3/4. They're into the stretch drive. Rattle My Cage, surrendered command. Quattro de Ulio, and here's Bella Bellini on the outside, the lone mare in gear for Dexter Dunn. And Ambassador Hanover gets underway late in deep stretch. It's still Quattro de Ulio, the mile 150, but Bella Bellini prevails. Bella Bellini! Bella Bellini, then close. Ambassador Hanover or Quattro de Ulio, then Take All Comers. 2:04.1 equals the world record for 1 1/8 miles.
Another world record equaled here. It's 3 straight races in a row on this big night at the Big M. Bella Bellini beating the boys.
She was ready to rumble tonight. Dexter Dunn, another spectacular drive here. He decided to leave with her from behind, in behind the 5 and the 6. Balenciaga and delayed Hanover. Balenciaga went on a break early on. He was able to get position. He only had 2 beat going down the backstretch, and the outer flow never developed. Everybody stayed on the pylons, Greg. Everybody else, all 10 horses that stayed flat, stayed on the pylons. And Dexter realized he'd have to go on that forward march and do it all himself. He finally got a smidge of cover. It wasn't even really cover at that point. Quattro de Ulio, who trotted a gigantic 9 furlongs tonight, he pulled. She was able to follow. Dexter tipped. Big performance from the lone mare, getting the job done in a world record equaling performance.
4 in a row as well, but yes, equaling the world record, as you heard, against the boys as well. For trainer Nifty Norman, Dexter Dunn having quite an evening, and the mare Bella Bellini, 16th career win for her as we head back to Canterbury Park. Race 9 on the card. 6.5 furlong sprint, 3-year-olds and up, and 7-5 on Martin, who's coming off a 3rd-place effort at Canterbury back on June 16th.
I thought this was a 2-horse race between the 3 Freiburg and the 6 Martin. I felt like the 3 Freiburg was where I wanted to go. Freiburg, the home of Todd Wilkinson from My Blue Heaven.
Okay.
Remember that movie? It's a fantastic movie. Nora Ephron took the notes from Goodfellas and wrote a comedy based
Steve
on Henry
Martin in
Hill's
that?
life. Steve Martin.
Okay.
Steve Martin. So basically, Steve Martin's character is based on Henry Hill. She took the notes from the Goodfellas interviews and turned his life in the witness protection program into a comedy. Freiburg is where he lived, outside of San Diego.
So Freiburg 5-2, an 11-time winner.
I went there. The now defunct Pick 5 ticket had 3s and 6s. I like the 3 at a little bit better price, and maybe Harry Hernandez can get him in a little bit of a better position early on.
Let's go to Paul Allen, 9th from Canterbury Park.
Sway Road, 2.5 to 1.
Wait. The 3 R's is still out, boss. The tailgates are not shut. 1 second. They're pushing.
And they're racing, and they've broken a line. And Fender Bender wins the start, and Fender Bender at 6-1 pokes the nose in front, now joined by Freeburg, and inside of that is Sway Road. After that, we come to Herbie, the 10-year-old on the move, 4 lengths from the front to the inside of El Centenario, and Marden at 9-5. Marden is last, and last by about 9. Into the far turn they travel, and they're chasing Harry, and Freeburg pulls Hernandez to the lead. Fender Bender now to the outside. Sway Road just off the heels of Freeburg, begging for the light of day. Behind that, El Centenario. Then it's a big gap to Herbie, and Marden is last and being shoved on very hard. 13 lengths from the lead. Marden not firing. They're at the top of the stretch. Fender Bender and Freeburg. Freeburg the inside, Fender Bender alongside, and after that is Herbie. Still nothing from Marden, and they're into the final furlong, and it is Fender Bender battling it out with Freeburg, and Sway Road angles to the outside. Fender Bender, Freeburg, Sway Road late. Fender Bender at 6-1.
Nothing separating Freeburg, Fender Bender for the second half of the stretch here until those final strides. Fender Bender draws clear, 7th win of his career.
Yeah, they hooked up midway on the far turn. Fender Bender looked like he was just going to roll on by Freeburg. Again, I'm not too convinced the inside's not where you want to be. Just Fender Bender a little bit better than Freeburg tonight, able to grind on by the last 50 yards or so.
7-year-old. Getting the, again, 7th win of his career. Had to work for this one. For trainer Nancy Sheehan. Big reversal of form.
Yeah, nice effort tonight. Just a little aggression. That's all this horse needed tonight. Got him closer to the pace.
4-3-1 finish. Here in this ninth at Canterbury Park. Prices for you when we come back. Going to take a short time out. Back at the Meadowlands. And the Hamiltonian Maturity. Bella Bellini beating the boys and equaling a world record in the process. 4th straight victory. Dexter Dunn again.
Some of the top horses in the sport are born and raised in Pennsylvania.
It's really the world capital of standardbred breeding. Breeders from other states locate in Pennsylvania.
It's not a hard sell. I mean, we have a whole mess of clients that send us horses to take advantage of the program. The racing opportunities have been, continue to be, and into the future are very strong here. This is where the top stallions are. A lot of the top mares are here in Pennsylvania. It's perfect.
Red. Good boy. Hey, Red. Ready to go for a ride, buddy? I'm gonna miss you, Red.
Grayson Jockey Club Research Foundation provides the best equine research to treat the horses we love.
Blood Horse Plus, available through bloodhorse.com, provides exclusive, timely, and unmatched content to subscribers, including Fox Sports, Blood Horse branded weekly programs, a detailed stakes winners section, behind-the-scenes videos from Blood Horse staff, on-demand access to deeper horse statistics, and a $5 monthly credit to equineline.com. Upgrade to Blood Horse Plus today.
Back on America's Day at the races. And just a stone's throw away from, well, maybe a little bit longer than that, a few stones. Broadway and the nightlife of Saratoga Springs. Play all the action with Naira Bets. Get signed up, started. Go to nairabets.com or download that app and play with us all summer long. World record equaled by Bella Bellini. This mare beating the boys, and she's reeled off 4 in a row.
Yeah. Again, another big, I would say mile, but it's a mile and an eighth. She came with the first over March and had to keep on grinding away. And Quattro de Julio, boy, we want to talk about a horse that he just shows up every time. And one of these days, there's a big one with his name on it. It just wasn't tonight, unfortunately, as the filly, the mare, I should say, was just a little bit better on this evening.
11-9-3-7. We have an inquiry back to the beginning of the race at the start.
Wonder what they're looking at. Maybe Gabe Pruitt can shed some light.
And now that sign has come down, and it looks like no change.
All the odd numbers. If Louis Lazzanaro's playing, he got it.
Let's go live to Gabe for more. Some audio issues. We'll try and get back to Gabe in a moment. We apologize for that. This has been very funny. This is 3 straight races now. We have just seen sensational efforts.
This would be like if you were watching some Ultimate Fighting or a boxing card. And now here comes the main event. The 46th Meadowlands Pace is coming up. We've already seen 3 unbelievable performances, 2 world records, 1 from Bulldog Hanover that it's been back to back to back, and now you have the big one. And a great story. So that we're looking at the 1 in Communicado, I guess.
Yeah, it sounds like a refund on the 1 is what's going to happen here in Communicado.
Let's see what happens. You see him highlighted on the starting gate. I'm wondering what they're saying is happening with this horse. Now it's gone again, but yeah.
All right, so we're at the mercy of what we're being shown from the Meadowlands. We'll see if we do get a look at exactly what went on there with Incommunicado. I think we got Gabe back. Let's try again.
Well, you do, Greg, and I do want to note there, it looked like it was a tough start for the 1 in Communicado.
Now, I had him for a moment. We'll try and get that sorted out in the meantime. But again, that was the issue. That start Incommunicado, the 1, there'll be a refund on any wagers with that runner.
Okay, so that's what the inquiry was about. So again, the odd numbers, 11-9-3-7. See what that superfecta comes back.
And as you said, on an evening where we've had so many big performances now, the main event still ahead of us with this Meadowlands Pace and Beach Glass. We talked about this tremendous story at the beginning of the program from that final crop of Some Beach Somewhere, who was undefeated except for the Meadowlands Pace.
The lone blemish.
See if he can complete some unfinished business. We'll be back right after this.
This proven son of Giants Causeway has sired 7 millionaires. With over 10% stakes performers, his recent top runners include Tarabi, placed in the Grade 1 Spinaway and Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Grade 2 winner Plum Ali, multi-millionaire Shivaji, plus these standout performers. Now his biggest book in the past decade will be 3-year-olds in 2022. A proven value sire, First Samurai, standing at Claiborne Farm.
They come together from every corner of the globe in pursuit of the one reward that sets the special few apart. The title of World Champion. Don't miss racing's ultimate coronation. The Breeders' Cup World Championships at Keeneland. Tickets on sale now.
At the Wallkill Correctional Facility in Ulster County, New York, the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation provides a program that gives both retired racehorses and the incarcerated individuals who care for them a second chance at life, and maybe even a second family.
It's my boy. It's my boy. I wasn't aware that the program even existed. I had never worked with horses before.
I was petrified at first. And I'm not really scared of many things, but when you're next to one of them and they're humongous like that, it's definitely a challenge.
Once they hear me, they coming. They just look, you see the ears come out, they look. Once they see it's me, they coming. They all coming. And it's like, oh man, it's like babies, you know. It's beautiful, you know.
They're locked in most of the time when they're not out with us from 8:30 to 2:30 every day. So those other times when they're inside, they're not themselves. But when they step foot out here at 8:30 in the morning, they change. They're totally different people.
I didn't know it was going to be such an emotional thing. And you really do kind of bond with the animals, and they look for you to be there for them.
It's more love out here. It's more peace, tranquility, solace, anything you want to call it, the epitome of peace to me.
Definitely a game changer for being someone who's incarcerated and always being around grown men, different behaviors, and not being able to actually express your feelings to them. You come out here, you can do that with the animals.
I need that. Whatever it takes to get home to my family, I'm going to try it. But then I got out here and I met a whole new family.
How's the family?
Yeah.
Like you said, this is a family. This is a family between the horses, us. Like, you know, we bond a lot here.
I didn't even know I could drive a tractor. I didn't know I could mow a lawn. Anything to make this place look better, to make it better for the horses.
At the end of the day, it's all for the horses.
All for the horses.
It doesn't feel like work. It feels like you're home. Come on, girls.
To be able to say to somebody, I have a certificate, like I was successful while I was incarcerated. I may have made a mistake, but I was able to get that second chance while I was here as well.
I did get a letter of assurance saying that some people were interested in employing me. So, like, that's just everything I'm hoping for right now.
I talk to them. I speak to them about things that I don't speak to people about in there. I can feel like they actually relate to me. And the same second chance that they're given, I feel like I'm getting.
That's just tremendous to see, and see the kind of impact that horses can have on people's lives.
Amazing. It's absolutely amazing. The job the TRF does is there's no words. I don't like getting beat up at miniature golf for many people, but the folks at TRF, I took it for. It was fine.
Tremendous cause, and
it is. It really is.
Everybody out there too can give to TRF.
Got a quick call tomorrow.
Exactly. Sponsored by the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation. 5.5 furlongs on the turf. These are always such difficult races to handicap. 5.5 furlongs on the grass, but Big Invasion, it's been about as reliable as you can be in turf sprints. 4 for 5 record, only defeat was second.
He has been amazing, right? Asymmetric, was fresh, first time this country. Kind of, runoff's the wrong term, but he was kind of loose on the lead last time. And Big Invasion never had to make up that much ground, Greg. Right? At one point, he was 9 lengths behind, according to the PPs. And he just gobbled up Asymmetric. Now, this was 7 furlongs in the Paradise Creek. Tomorrow's quick call, appropriately 5.5. I don't think it's going to be an issue because he's had such success going to 5 and 5.5 furlongs. But if you're going to beat Big Invasion, tomorrow might be the day on this 3/16 of a mile cutback. I don't think it will be. I like him a lot tomorrow. I think he's just another one, a real cool horse. But if you're going to get him...
He's 3 for 4 at the distance.
If you're going to get him, because of that 7/8 race last time, I think if you're going to get him, you're going to get him tomorrow.
Well, Asymmetric's going to take another crack at him, and Asymmetric, he's a burner. I mean, as you mentioned, he was 6 lengths clear early on in that race. Blinkers coming off for that Wesley Ward runner. We'll have listed anyway. Jamie Spencer was here to ride in the Diana.
I believe he'll be riding, yeah. No, Nobbles, number 4.
Quick as well, very quick for Larry Ravelli.
I wonder if the presence of Heredity Jr., though, on him, 4 in a row, 3 on synthetic, a turf win last time at Churchill. I wonder if Herediti's presence, maybe they realize they need to get him off the pace of the horse like Asymmetric in there, and that's why Arad's on him. He's speedy, though. He's fast. I don't think you want to take his speed away from him, but I don't know. To me, it was Big Invasion. But like I said, if you're going to get Big Invasion, I think tomorrow's the day. I don't think it's the day, but you can have at it. If you like, go right to Naira Bets, and you can have at it.
Race 8 on the card tomorrow on the Sunday program. Grade 3 quick call, again presented by the Thoroughbred Retirement Foundation. If you do want to contribute to the work they do, look them up online, TRF. Do tremendous work. And if you want to play the races, of course, get signed up. Start up with Naira Bets. Go to the app or nairabets.com, Toka 200. That code to use for new members at sign up. Main event is next. 46th running of the Meadowlands Pace and Beach Glass. Just left our screen for Brent McGrath and Ronnie Gingras.
The momentum continues for War Dancer, following a triumphant Saratoga meet as the #1 second crop sire. His progeny have posted 23 more wins in 2022, like Busy Morning.
Busy Morning, she is drawing away here.
You Should Be Dancing.
On the outside, You Should Be Dancing the winner.
And Dancing Buck.
No threat to Dancing Buck.
Now with $3.5 million in progeny earnings on dirt and turf going long and short, War Dancer is a sire on fire. Join the momentum today at wardancerstud.com.
The Thoroughbred Owner Conference is back in person for the first time in 3 years and is being held in the new 1863 Club at Saratoga Racecourse, July 25th and 26th. Attendees enjoy 9 ownership topics with an impressive list of speakers, along with social events to meet other owners and network, an opening reception at the National Museum of Racing and Hall of Fame, a conference dinner, and an afternoon of racing at Saratoga. It's the 2022 Thoroughbred Owner Conference, July 25th and 26th. See you in Saratoga.
Following C, pouring it on here in the stretch. Impressive to win the Grade 2 Vosburg. Following C, Smile Happy has kicked it into high gear. And Smile Happy with a powerful performance wins by 2.5.
Eclipse champion Run Happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Racetrack Television Network brings you every race, from every track, on every screen, every day. With monthly packages starting as low as $5, RTN gives you great value and access to more live HD streaming and race replays than anyone. Visit RTN.tv today to sign up and watch on almost any device, including Roku and Amazon Fire. RTN has packages that start at $5 per month.
Here we go, 46th running of the signature event at the Big M here, the Meadowlands Pace 1-5.
Wow.
On Beach Glass, who really woke up and was, look, he was sensational in that last out effort. Can he repeat it and do it again? Time for our trackside analysis presented by Standard Bred Breeders Association of Pennsylvania. Let's go to Jessica and Gabe.
Guys, we're standing by here, Gabe Pruitt, Jess Scott, and we are moments away from the Meadowlands Pace, guys. And as you guys just said, a big favorite, just Beach Glass 1-5. That's a shockingly short price.
It is, you know, but the way the horse raced last week in the elimination, he handled it so professionally. Because he was parked in the quarter in 25 and change, and there were a couple of lead changes in there as well. And the word that they've been using to describe this horse was green, but they made an equipment adjustment after that North America Cup elimination, and he really has been progressing well.
Yeah, boy, did it ever pay off, Jess. What an effort here last week, and we'll see if he can back it up.
Absolutely, and I think everybody loves the story behind Brent McGrath and Yannick Gingras obviously taking over controls recently. The same connections of Sun Beach somewhere. We heard the roar in the crowd after breaking that world record performance. I imagine what the crowd is going to be like if he wins.
Yeah, it's the feel-good story. I mean, you know, Sun Beach somewhere. Again, we saw that earlier, Meadowlands Pace 2008, where it was his lone defeat. He's 20 of 21 in his career, made over $3.2 million. His lone loss in the Meadowlands Pace. Now you fast forward 14 years later, the exact same ownership, the exact same trainer, and his son in the final crop for Sun Beach somewhere. One of only 12 colts in that final crop. We unfortunately lost him tragically to cancer, unfortunately, a few years back. So his final crop, his last run, the Beach here, his chance for redemption with his son, Beach Glass.
Well, take a look at the other elimination winner. That was market-based, and he really needed that start 2 starts back where he paced home nicely. They made a few changes. He left aggressively out of the gate from post 7. He sat the pocket, and he really paced home strongly. And people kind of thought, you know, looking in that race, he was overlooked, but he held off Nighthawk really well.
You know, he did. He did get a perfect trip. You know, sometimes those are bet against horses for me. When they get a perfect trip, things work out great. You know, usually doesn't happen 2 weeks in a row. No, the one thing I will say, trainer Nancy Tactor couldn't be any higher on this colt coming into the race. When Nancy speaks, I listen. So I'm going to have to go with her on this one and assume market base is ready to fire big race once more.
She had nothing but good things about the guy, talking about this guy coming out of the race. She said he had a great week leading into it. One to his inside is the horse he fought off late near the wire. That is Nighthawk. He only got beat a neck. And, you know, you go and look at his North America Cup elimination. Of course, he was second to Pebble Beach. And then he had post 7 in the final. He never got involved early in that race. And again, last week, he wasn't involved early, but he did pace home strongly.
He was just a victim of circumstances, the North America Cup. And even last week, really the same thing. He just got away a little too far back. He was roaring late, Jess, in the late stages. You know, I think it's really a pace-type scenario for Nighthawk. Is the pace scenario going to set up here for closer? If so, He'll obviously be there to pick up the pieces. We know he's going to be roaring in the late stages.
A few horses that paced home good in their eliminations as well. The 7 Forever Boy. What do you make of that trip? Because, you know, the last 50 yards or so, he was pacing out of his skin.
Well, he raced in the North America Cup. He was 95-1, and he was perfectly positioned by his driver, Mike Wilder. He just did not fire home, but actually talking to the connections, he had some sickness issues there north of the border in Canada. Last week, he couldn't have possibly been any better. It's the absolute best start we've seen from Forever Boy. So if you believe that start coming into tonight, I think you have to consider him here for a big piece and a big long shot of the board, just at 30-1. I thought off that traffic-troubled trip, he was going to take a lot more money here.
I did too, and you know, he had a little bit of time coming into that race. The last time he had raced before that was June the 18th. Another horse who's actually lightly raced on the season is the 5 Early Action for the Joe Holloway connections there. They said it's been a bit of a bumpy road for him. He had some issues early on with his throat, then he was sick. I thought the Meadowlands Pace elimination was definitely a step in the right direction. He was obviously going to need, you know, a good effort there to make it into the final. And again, wasn't involved early. He was in that Beach Glass elimination where they went wicked fractions. It paced home at 26-1. He gets a perfect middle pack post to deal with. I talked to Joe Holloway earlier this week. The horse is versatile and he likes his spot.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I read some Joe Holloway interview clippings this week as well, Jess. He is under the impression that Early Action is finally rounding into that 2-year-old form we saw. Last year he was 8 of 13, made over $400,000. Draws a perfect post here from post 5. We'll see. Again, Beach Glass, obviously the headliner here. Early Action is going to have to step up his game, but again, he was much better than what we've seen last week.
The one-horse Captain Cowboy. This is the Aki Svansid's debut in the Meadowlands Pace. Obviously, we see him a lot in the Hambletonian and mainly with trotters. What were your thoughts and impressions on his elimination finishing second?
Well, Oka Svansid has won the Hambletonian 2 times. He has never won the Meadowlands Pace, of course. He's looking to become one of only a handful of trainers to take both of our signature races, the Hambletonian and the Meadowlands Pace. You know, he was pretty good last week. One note that I did see, Jess, they pulled the shoes on this guy tonight. So we'll see how that works. Now, you can't make that move all the time. It sort of lightens up a horse, so you can do it once in a while over a track surface. We'll see how he reacts to that. I did note that equipment adjustment here tonight for the one Captain Cowboy.
The 2022 edition of the Meadowlands Pace going for $600,000 is up next. The favorite at 2-5, Beach Glass. Back to you, Greg.
Jessica, thank you. Time for the Meadowlands Pace, one of harness racing's biggest events. And there is the Meadowlands Pace Trophy, designed exclusively by Bow River, who will be taking that home tonight. The public believes right now Beach Glass, 1-2 favorite, will be doing just that, coming off a personal best performance, that 148-1, 5 1/4 length victory last time out.
He was sensational last week. His performance in his elimination was, I thought, exponentially better than market-based performance in his elimination. However, I think the market-based elimination could produce a more lively underneath the favorite in here. I think Forever Boy has a chance to upset this race at a huge price. I can't believe he's 30-1. And you know what? It's Saturday night. Let's get goofy. I'll make him the top pick. See if we could beat Beach Glass.
All right, Forever Boy, the 7. Your top selection, 28-1, was in that market-based elimination behind him. That's been market-based the 4 for Nancy Tactor. It's been a bit of a frustrating runner for Nancy, but coming off the best performance in a long, long time, 9-1 right now.
Yeah, 9-1. I'm not surprised. Nighthawk is the second choice. I think a lot of people feel he might have been best in the elim last week. I'm not so sure Forever Boy wasn't best in the elimination last week. He made up a lot of ground late, Greg.
Nighthawk was impressive, just missed by a neck. He was flying on the outside. 46th running of the Meadowlands Pace. Let's go to Ken Workington.
And the field is set for race 12. $600,000 Meadowlands Pace Final, 46th edition, sponsored by Clinton Tractor and Implement Company. Just off the gate, Early Action. The rest on gate, here they come. And they're off. Early action off stride. Early action broke. I Did It My Way flies out of there with Market Based on the inside. And then it's Captain Cowboy on the rail. Caviar, Camden, and Nighthawk is put in play. And 5 deep is Beach Glass in that first turn. And here comes Market Based to take over from Captain Cowboy. Nighthawk on the outside, 3rd. Caviar, Camden got away 4th. And Beach Glass is 5th on the outside. Then it's I Did It My Way, followed by Forever Boy and Mad Max Hanover. And then it's Captain Ryan Michael after the early miscue. Early action trails. 26-1 opens it up here across the backstretch. Dave Miller sending Nighthawk to the front. Nighthawk. Here comes Beach Glass to challenge for the lead. It's Market Base back to 3rd on the inside. Captain Cowboy is 4th. Marching up on the outside, I Did It My Way. Tracking him is Mad Max Hanover from the back of the pack. A shuffle for Caviar Camden as well as Forever Boy. Underway from last, Captain Ryan Michael and early action trails. 53-2 for the half as Beach Glass took over. It's Beach Glass in front. I Did It My Way on the outside, and I Did It My Way up to say hello to Beach Glass. It's those two matching strides past 3/4. On the inside, Nighthawk needs some racing room, and they turn for home. 3/4 for Beach Glass, 121 and 3 under intense pressure from I Did It My Way on the outside. Beach Glass in front. Beach Glass, I Did It My Way, pours it on. That was Mad Max Hanover, second over, flips off cover, open road. Nighthawk on the inside, but Beach Glass is doing enough with Yannick Gingras. Beach Glass, the beach is back. Beach Glass, then Mad Max Hanover, followed by I Did It My Way, and Nighthawk 147 2/5.
Oh, what a tremendous story. Beach Glass from the last crop of Some Beach Somewhere, the only race his sire did not win in a brilliant career. Beach Glass able to get it done.
If he raced back to his elimination win, this is what was going to happen tonight. A fantastic story, a fantastic effort. What a nice colt here. Pays homage to his departed sire who couldn't get it done. He gets his revenge tonight. Big effort from the winner of the Meadowlands Pace.
Sire beat it 1-9 in this race. We showed you earlier in the program one of the great runnings in the history of this race and that historic defeat by Art Official. But here, Beach Glass, I thought might have moved too early in here. Not the case. He had plenty left.
Confident drive. Real confident drive by Yannick Gingras, who stuck the whip up with about 30 yards to go. Should be a good feeling getting the Meadowlands Pace home. Great story. Great story.
So Beach Glass, certainly biggest win of his career, really showed in that last effort back on July 9th. I mean, that was sort of his coming out party, and now he really backs it up.
Yeah. Big win in the elimination, an even bigger win in the final. We'll go and get his picture taken. 5 jump stride, early action a couple of times in the race. Nice effort from Mad Max Hanover, who barely qualified in the Beach Class elimination last week. He finished 5th. The first 5 from each elimination got to come back this week, and he paced nicely tonight to get the place money.
Now, trainer Brent McGrath, he talked about Beach Glass saying he was a very late developing colt and had to just wait on him a little bit, explaining why he didn't show up first until September. But it has been worth the wait.
Much worth the wait. Now, 9 exacta finishes and 10 career starts for the winner. Fantastic story. Big effort tonight.
How gratifying is this for this ownership group, same ownership group and trainer, of course, of Some Beach Somewhere, to be able to finish the job. Brent McGrath told Yannick Gingras, we've been this far before. We need to finish it off. And to be able to do it from this final crop of Some Beach Somewhere, just tremendous.
I'm sure to finish the journey together is pretty special, right? Something you feel like you started so many years ago, and to finally finish the job must be really some vindication here tonight.
Tremendous story in this 46th edition of this Meadowlands Pace. We saw 2 world records, a world record equaled as well. by a mare against the boys, and now this performance, which I'm sure a lot of people who are big fans of this sport probably have tears rolling down their eyes.
Sure. Yeah, fun night. We don't have another night in this, but we have another day. We got the Hambletonian coming up in a few weeks. Always looking forward to that. As Beach Glass gets his, so the winner goes the spoils. He'll get that trophy, right? And he'll get the that Meadowlands pay. That's a sleek looking. I need one of those blankets. I'm gonna throw it over myself and go to sleep in one of those tonight.
Yeah, again, that trophy designed again exclusively by Bow River. It's a beauty. And what a performance here from Beach Glass to take this 46th edition of the Meadowlands Pace. Hope everyone enjoyed this evening edition of America's Day at the Races. It was well worth tuning in to see some of the performances we saw tonight. Bulldog Hanover, sensational. Now Beach Glass at 1-5, delivering at that very short price. We are back tomorrow with Saratoga Live on FS2. That begins coverage at 1 Eastern time. Hambletonian maturity. It was the mare beating the boys. Bella Bellini equaling a world record in the process, with Dexter Dunn doing the driving, and Beach Glass in the Meadowlands Pace. Brilliant. Finishing off what Some Beach Somewhere, his sire, could not do in the only loss of his brilliant career. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 Eastern.